bitch. Oh, excuse you? Baloney wash. I'm annoyed. I'm just here to give my opinion and carry Annie. Oh, it's Chris Avalon Unfiltered, bitch.
Hey y'all, welcome and happy Wednesday, Thursday. What is today's day? Wednesday. Yo, I don't know which day I'm coming or going. But anyway, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy Chris Avalon. Happy Wednesday, all that good stuff. Welcome to a brand new episode of Chris Avalon Unfiltered, a show we basically talk about all things going on in celebrity news and hot topics. So that is definitely a show for you. Definitely stick around because we got a lot of tea to spill today. Including, we got to talk about Lady Gaga revealing the Mayhem Ball tour dates. People are upset because she's not coming to certain jurisdictions. We'll get into that. Plus, she's being sued over that Mayhem album logo. You know, the font and stuff that spells out Mayhem. So we got to get into that. Plus, FKA Twigs, speaking of concerts, she had to postpone several of her North American Eusexua tour dates due to having some visa issues. We'll get into that. Plus, we got to talk about this Avengers Doomsday cast rollout and my overall thoughts on who's a part of the cast, the way they did it, all that good stuff. Lady O, as in Oprah Winfrey, is being subpoenaed by Russell Wilson's rape accusers. We're going to talk about that. Plus, I got more on that No Other Land co-director who was rounded up and then beat up and all the other stuff. Well, one of the co-directors from the movie is speaking out and saying that they received no support from the U.S. Academy and how they stayed silent in a time when he needed their voice the most. So we're going to get into that. Plus, apparently people over there who are still, those 10 of you that are still watching American Idol, y'all are upset over the fact that this recent thing that's been going on is a lot of Nepo babies getting put on the show. So we're going to get into that. Plus, we got to talk about, we talked a little bit about it yesterday. Garcelle Beauvais came out and announced that she was quitting Real Housewives of Beverly Hills after 5 seasons. Well, 2 of the other cast members, Erika, Jayne, and Bozoma St. John, came out and spoke out, and they threw a little shade at her. So we're going to get into that. Plus, we're going to talk about these declining ratings over at the Housewives of Atlanta. There's a word on the curve that apparently Ariana Grande gave away the top 4 of RuPaul's Drag Race, so we'll get into that. Plus, Peppermint is revealing why production hated her when she was on RuPaul's Drag Race. And last but certainly not least, it's about that time. We got an update on Austin Wolf's court date case situation, the CP and all that other mess. So we'll get into that. Among other things, I think that's all that's pretty much popping off today. Is not really a lot going on, but that seems like based off of what I just read, gave y'all the rundown, that's enough, right? So let me hit my banner. I see that I got a couple of comments and stuff already. I'll get to those after. So I can wear this hat now. This is my old City Field Mets hat. So I'm like, we don't use this hat no more. Now we're going back to the actual blue. So we got new uniforms, all of the stuff. So yeah, now we're actually the colors of the Mets. So I can wear this old hat because it's null and void. So, and yeah, I'm having a bad hair day. So that's why I threw the hat on because I'm like, I didn't feel like doing my hair today. But anyway, so, and I'm still under the weather, but apparently I found the energy and the strength to come on here and do the show. So I'm gonna definitely need y'all to help me give me the energy and stuff. Send y'all good vibes and stuff through the screen. So that way I'll be able to go through this show, how long it may be. I'm going to try to see if I can keep it under 3 hours today for once. But, excuse me. Without further ado, let's get to our first topic. And let's talk some good news from Miss Gaga. Now, I will be honest, I kind of had a feeling that she was going to go on tour this year. But I didn't know exactly when she would. It was only amount of time of when she was going to announce that she was going to go on tour. Because I was like, there's a lot of girls touring. We got Dula Peep coming. We got Tate McRae coming. We got Gaga already doing a couple of shows, like in Singapore, and she's doing Rio. Then she's doing Coachella in a couple of weeks, like literally next month. Because yeah, April's next month. Jesus, where's the time going? But you know what? Let's power through these 4 years so we can get who about the goddamn White House. I cannot deal with him another damn. Well, first of all, this is his second term, and they're already doing things behind the scenes to try to change and dismantle. Wait, this is not even about that creature of the Orange Lagoon. But I'm saying, like, I basically said that because time is flying already. We're already almost damn near halfway through 2025. But anyway, so Gaga's already got a couple of dates that she's going to go out in regards of supporting Mayhem. And so I was like, maybe she'll tour later on in 2025. I didn't think she was going to do it this early, but she said she made the announcement this morning that she's set to go out on this Mayhem Ball tour. So yeah, I woke up to this. Let me pull up the picture. She posted something else like literally an hour ago. Where it was like a little visual. We'll pop over on that in a second. But first, let's get into the story. So now, following her previously announced spring shows in Mexico, Brazil, and Singapore, and a headlining set at Coachella in April, the Mayhem Ball Tour will see the pop star play cities including Vegas, Seattle, New York City, Miami, Toronto, Chicago, London, Paris, Berlin, and more. And you know what? She's doing all the big areas. Like when I said a certain somebody who came up with that terrible ass 143 album, maybe that's the direction you should have took. You should have been doing like a Vegas, Seattle, New York, Miami, Chicago, Toronto, London, Paris. But like those are the parts you're supposed to be doing. Don't be trying to go to Cupcake, Idaho. Ain't nobody care to watch no damn Katy Perry. But you know, her mess aside, the good thing about this whole situation is, yes, she's doing these dates. However, I did see some people online. I was upset that she's not doing a lot of Latin American areas. They want her to announce a show in. I saw one for Australia. One of my friends, I think I saw that wants to go to her show. He was like, can you come to Australia? But so I've been seeing a lot of people in the comments over on when it's been announced on like the Varieties and Hollywood Reporters, all those people are complaining that she's not doing a lot of those, a lot of like a big tour. And I'm thinking that it probably has to do with the fact that y'all know Lady Gaga has fibromyalgia. So people don't realize that touring and traveling on the plane and all this stuff, it takes a lot out of you. And, you know, she's been in pain. And over the years, she said that she's been able to handle and like manage it. So I've always said maybe y'all need to follow the route of like a Beyonce and Taylor Swift, which is you do your couple of dates, make sure you got cameras and stuff to film it, and then release it in a theater so that way people can actually who didn't get the opportunity to see the show, and I know it's not the same because you want to be and actually see it live, but depending on the situation, scheduling, health, whatever the case is, I think people need to be a little more understanding and realize that, you know what, maybe the best thing to do is once the tour wraps up or wherever the final date is, I just got to go through the rest of my story and look and see what the final date is. Just do a recording of the concert or wherever you plan on wanting to do it. I don't know if you want to do a Berlin date where you want to film it there, or maybe the 3 nights you're going to be at my job, which is Madison Square Garden. So I don't know if you want to film it and then save it and have them edit it and stuff while you're still doing the show. And then maybe like towards the end of the year, like around Christmas time or whatever the case is, you want to actually put it in the theater and then have the little monsters who didn't have the fortunate ability to get to see you in a certain area, that you'll be able to go. And they'll be able to see it in the theater. I know one person I saw complain. It was like, I don't want to be coming into America twice because there's another show that they're supposed to be doing that happens around the same time where she's supposed to be doing her show in Canada. And they were like, I don't want to keep coming across Canada, coming to New York. And y'all already know why. I mentioned his fat, ugly, wrinkly ass earlier. So, she basically said the following. She said on her social media, she said, wait, hold on, let me go to it. She said, I wasn't planning to tour this year after my shows in Singapore, but the incredible response to the new album inspired me to keep things going. It came together super quickly thanks to Arthur Fogel and the amazing team at Live Nation who planned a global tour in just a few weeks. We chose arenas this time to give me the opportunity to control the details of the show in a way you simply can't in stadiums, and honestly, I can't wait. This show is designed to be the kind of theatrical and electrifying experience that brings Mayhem to life exactly how I envision it. The Mayhem Ball Tour is officially coming your way. See you soon, monsters. And when she said that, I was like, you know what? I absolutely agree. And here's the thing. In the back of my mind, I was also saying that I think it's smart that if she is going to come out with this Mayhem Ball Tour, whatever, we all knew she was going to call it the Ball at the end because all of her shows have been consistent in that way. They're all been called balls, which you know comes from the ballroom scene. So with her announcing that, I was like, I knew she was going to call it that, number one. So it was pretty much not a big head scratcher. And that's like a duh. But two, I was like, she needs to do arenas simply because the type of overall aesthetic, the visuals, the music, everything about Mayhem screams smaller. Well, arenas, we house 20,000 people at the Garden. So having it in an arena setting where it's indoors, and when it comes to, like, I'll speak for my job, we're a well-oiled machine. The way that they move things in and out, and the way that our staff and stuff works to make sure that the fans are having a good time and everything is running smoothly and in a copacetic manner, it definitely calls for an arena setting versus a stadium. I don't feel there's any kind of intimacy when you're doing a damn stadium. And this is why I said to Beyonce too, girl, I don't understand why you trying to do Cowboy Carter as a stadium situation. You should have did it as an arena, but I understand ego, whatever the case is. So I understand. So I like the idea that Lady Gaga's like, you know what, I'm gonna just do multiple dates at arenas in certain areas, and yeah. And so we're not going to do it in a stadium situation because, in a way, it's like, yeah, you want to be able to, in an arena setting, you can see everything, meaning like you can get to see all the intricate details of the visuals and stuff of the show, be it the choreography, be it whatever on the jumbo screens, whatever, that you get to see. So this will be my first time actually seeing Lady Gaga live in concert, because I've never been to one of her concerts, but being that I work at the Garden, I'll be able to see it for free. Hello. So, in addition to that, we did have some people in the comments who was like gagging over this. We had Vanity Vane up in there, Jade Thirlwall, who we love from Little Mix, formerly. Well, are they still together and all? But, Jade Thirlwall, who I'm living for right now with a lot of her music, she was in the comments, basically just like crying and hyped up and excited. Nick Gaga, who y'all already know, she is like a big Lady Gaga stan and a drag queen who's basically a Lady Gaga impersonator. How come? I mean, it's similar to how we have like so many Madonna impersonators, like we have Madenis and so many other people. Like every big pop star who is in that caliber has their drag queen that pretty much does them. Just like we have Chad Michaels does Cher. So the girls is excited. People are as excited, but I know like I said, there's some people that's upset over the fact that she's not going to be doing certain areas. But I did see there was another video. Let's go to her other situation. I'm like, is that it? And yeah, this is it. I'm going to just keep it muted. Let's see if... I was like, I'm pretty much liking this visual because I'm pretty much looking like it's giving me like a woman from the 1800s who was like who's trapped. Her spirit is trapped in the mirror, and she's gonna come out and get you, kind of like Samara in The Ring. Like it's giving me very much that. What was that damn show that used to come on? There was a show with Josh Hartnett and Eva Green that used to come on. Penny Dreadful. It's gonna give me those vibes. I was like, it came to me immediately. So, the girls is excited. I'm actually, as much as I be, when I say stuff about Lady Gaga, it's no shade, but I just be talking because it based off observation. One thing you cannot take from her, she is a phenomenal live performer based off of the shows that I've seen of hers. So I'm pretty much excited to see what she's going to bring. But I will say this. Tickets for the North American dates will go on pre-sale on March 31st. You got a couple of days. I think that's like, next Monday, if I'm not mistaken? Monday? Yeah, it's next Monday. I had to look at my calendar real quick. And at 12 p.m. local time. And general tickets go on sale April 3rd at 12 p.m. And in Europe and the UK, tickets for the select shows will be available through MasterCard's pre-sale on March 31st. And I should also say, so the first show is in Vegas at the T-Mobile Arena. That starts on July 16th. When she comes to the Garden, which is where I told y'all I work, August 22nd, 23rd, and 26th. So she's going to take 2 days off in between and then come. I like the fact that she's taking breaks and breaking it up. So I like that as well. And then the final show is in France. She's doing two. Well, she's doing 5 shows in France, actually. She's doing Lyon, France, 2 nights. And then that's November 13th and 14th. And then Paris, France at the Accor Arena gets it the 17th, the 18th, and the 20th. And I think actually to close it out, you should probably, I think, film, if she plans on doing it, those final 3 dates. And I know a lot of people want more dates. And if she does decide to expand on it, I would say take the Taylor Swift route. And You know, I mean, you kind of did that with How Bad You Want Me, right? But anyway, where they were saying that that sounded like a song off of the Reputation album. But where it comes down to it, take the Taylor Swift route, break it up. Like if you're going to do the Mayhem Ball next time, take like maybe a month or two off and then start it back up in January of 2026. Like you could do that. And that way you can give like Australia and all of them, because that'll be the summertime by the time, you know, you start it up again. So that's what I would do if I was in her shoes. Like, yeah, we'll take a little month break and then we'll come back and well, we'll do like 3 weeks and then I'll spend the final week, like we'll fine tune and reboot and revive everything and then we'll start the tour off again. So I say all this to say, what do you guys think of this story in regards to the Mayhem Bowl tour being announced by Mother Monster? And it seems like the monsters are excited. So I want to hear from you all. Let me know what you guys think of this story in the comments down below. Ooh, let's see what people are saying. Okay, we have I was like, let me close that for a second. Chaperone says people expect me to play by different roles because I'm a homosexual and I should be politically correct about that. And you know what? What's hard sucking dick? Well, she's a lesbian. So what you know about sucking dick? But child, it is not hard to put a I mean, it is hard when you put it in your mouth, but it's not hard to suck a dick. Now, when you say I'm talking about well, it's funny because I feel like me and Robert have had this conversation many a times. It's like people need to realize she's like one of those rural homosexuals. She's not the same as like someone who like me was born in more of a metropolis type of area. Like I was born and raised in New York City. So our ideas regarding acceptance and being exposed to all different types of people is way different than somebody who's from a small town, and her mindset is different. So I don't feel like she needs to play by a certain role. Girl, just be yourself and fuck what everybody else got to say. They said I was talking about the Nepo babies in America Idol. Yeah, it's funny. Did we have that conversation? Or I feel like I've been having this conversation with quite a few people. But yeah, now it's a big story, so it's like we need to bring it up. So the Nepo baby thing, yes. I mean, they've always had Nepo babies sprinkled throughout the shows, but now I think it's because it's so obvious and it's becoming more apparent, people are complaining. But we'll talk about it once we get to that topic. Very disappointed with the number of dates, more specifically international dates. There were rumors this was going to be her biggest tour and she was going to do India and Southeast Asia. Yeah, and I think that's probably got a lot of people pissed off too. But I agree with that. It's sort of like, yeah, people are expecting you to make this like a big, ginormous tour. It just feels like maybe what you're doing is trying to capitalize off of the hype around Mayhem and everything that's going on with that, and then Coachella and all the other stuff. So you're not really like giving a full-fledged show. It'd be cool if she would have did more dates. And like I said, maybe she should do kind of like similar to the Eras tour and just break it up and just do, you know, a couple of months, and then up until the end of November. What was it? Up until the end of November, which is when you're supposed to wrap it up. Take a month off, restart it again. Like how many times Taylor Swift went on tour with the Eras tour? She went on tour like 3 damn times, which is why she's a billionaire because she kept touring. So maybe you need to do that, but I don't know. Not everybody has the stomach or the stamina to be able to do it. I guess Taylor does it because she loves what she does. She loves what she does, and the money doesn't hurt either. But anyway. All right, so now let's get into some more Lady Gaga news because in addition to her actually getting this tour up and running, apparently she's being sued over the Mayhem logo, which when I looked at it, I'm like, okay, there is similarities there. However, I feel like she was inspired by the overall tone, the overall font, but it's so annoying. Like, do people actually have real ownership over like fonts and things of that nature? But anyway, let's get into it. So according to TMZ, Surfboard brand Lost International is suing Lady Gaga for trademark infringement by her Mayhem album, claiming they own the rights to the term as used in the Surf's company distinctive logo, and that Lady Gaga's use is basically identical. Now, in the lawsuit, obtained, of course, by TMZ, as I mentioned earlier, Lost says they've been slapping a stylized version of Mayhem on their surfboards and merch for over a decade. And Gaga ripped off the design for her latest album. Wait, here's the thing. I'm like, wait, there's an actual surfboard company called Mayhem, and she actually took. Okay, now looking at this, I'm like, okay, sis, y'all did kind of change the tone a little bit. It looks a little bat-ish, like real, like a whole gothic type of vibe or whatever. However, if it does kind of have similarities, it kind of does. Yeah, girl, it's like, really, this is what we're doing. Like, but then again, this isn't the first time Lady Gaga has been accused of taking something that somebody else has done and basically try to pass it off as her own. Okay. Which kind of makes you wonder, is like, well, who are you outside of all of that? And we'll give her props though. I did see like a couple of clips of her on Howard Stern yesterday. That literally after I ended the show, these clips started popping up online. She did a piano version, a stripped down piano version of Abracadabra, which I absolutely love. And then she did, oh my God, I forgot the name of the damn song. She did another one of her songs on off the album, which I actually thought, like, I love the version of what they were doing. Like, I like the more of acoustic version. It'd be cool if she actually did like a full, like what was that show that not unsung. It was like we used to have this show that used to come on MTV, and it's funny how I forgot about it, and I actually worked on it. um, There was a show that used to come on MTV where you actually did like a stripped down version of your hits or songs from your album. I want to unplug. Now, see, now it comes to me when I think about it. And it was like MTV Unplugged. I'd love to see her do an unplugged version of her music. Oh, and I think outside of the hardcore fans, they probably wouldn't want it. But cute if she did like a little special. Remember when Kylie Minogue did like a tour of like her B-sides, like songs that wasn't like her most popular? But anyway, so they said, so now Lois included a side-by-side look at the Mayhem logo, which y'all can see in the photo, on their merch, and one Lady Gaga is using on hers, and there are notable similarities. And I said, yeah, there are some similarities. She just changed up the, like, they stretched it out a little bit and just thickened up the M and the H and the E and that sort of thing. But overall, it does, there is similarity. Says you may have to pay up. Because here's the thing. They also said they've owned the trademark since 2015 and said that she's misappropriating the logo without their permission, and even said that they voiced their concerns to her, but she didn't give a damn. She kept using it. So we're not going to sit up here and try to act like, well, maybe she didn't know, whatever. Because remember, she has said in most recent interviews now that she has taken more control of her career. Nothing goes, out without her approval, that sort of thing. So she is well aware of the similarities and all other stuff. So sis, if you out here using somebody's, trying to profit off of somebody else's logo, we had the same thing with Miley Cyrus yesterday. If you out here trying to profit over somebody's stuff and not giving them the proper wherewithal and paying them their coins, then ma'am, you're going to have to pay up. And that's what it looks like here. It looks like you definitely going to have to pay up in this situation. So I say all this to say, what do you guys think of this story in regards of Lady Gaga getting filed? They coming after her over this, Mayhem album logo font, whatever the hell you want to call it. So let me know what you guys think of this story in the comments down below. Like it was like, yeah, it came to me late. Or it was MTV Unplugged. So she would like to do, we could definitely see her do that. All right, so let's get into more touring news, and let's talk about Miss FKA Twigs, who didn't Kanye recently mention her when it came down to this whole thing with Northwest. Yeah, she was doing a little dance with FKA Twigs and all this other stuff, and I'm like, Queen, if you don't sit your ass, damn, I totally forgot. There was a story that came out. I'm gonna use it for tomorrow. That they talking about that Kris Jenner is wanting to go scorch earth on Kanye, but Kim was afraid of him retaliating. I'm like, retaliating with what? Like, first of all, y'all know who Kris Jenner is, all that money and power that she got in the industry. That y'all scared of Kanye of all people? That unhinged queen? Please. But anyway, so for Kyle Twigs, I'm kidding, is apparently having to just had to announce that she is had to postpone her U.S. tour dates due to, North American, I should say, tour dates, because she's having issues with her visa. So she did go, they said her name was Talia Barnett. Why you had to put her government? We know her name is, she going by FKA. So I got the TikTok video of her making the announcement. We'll go over to the Tiki Taki and we'll talk. Please hold.
Hi everyone. I wanted to come on here and personally address and talk to you about some things that have been happening behind the scenes in my world. So, as you may have seen, I have been performing the Eusexua tour in the UK and Europe, and it's been absolutely incredible. The reception and the crowd and the artistic expression, everything has just been completely amazing. And I feel so grateful to be just a part of such an amazing creative process. Behind the scenes, practically, it has been challenging with production and just, yeah, the more practical sides of putting this tour together. So today I was informed that production did not fill out the correct paperwork in a timely manner for us to have our visas to come to the USA and perform. So that means that by no choice of my own, I will have to pull out of my New York, Chicago, and Toronto shows. For those of you who are wondering why I have to pull out of Toronto because it's not part of the United States, it's because of routing and just the complex beast that touring is. I don't take this lightly. I'm completely devastated, to be honest with you, and completely heartbroken. All I want to do is to be there with you, bring Eusexua to you. I've not performed in the USA since 2019, and it really feels like a home away from home. And this is just such a huge blow, and I feel super let down. And I'm looking into how and why this happened, and I'm making sure that I have the support to correct this. So, with that being said, I will be rescheduling these shows, and information will be coming on that very shortly.
All right, so y'all pretty much have get a gist of what she was trying to say is that basically she's gonna have to reschedule. Her people didn't fill out the proper paperwork, which I'm like, okay, heads will roll because I don't know how y'all fucked this up. Like y'all fucking with my money now. So I'd be like, y'all need to go. We need to bring somebody in that knows what the hell they're doing and fill out the proper paperwork so we can get this show on the road. So hopefully all that works out because I definitely want to see FKA Twigs live. I've never had the opportunity of seeing her perform. I love the new album, and which came out in January, by the way. And one of the things I totally didn't realize is that yeah, she is Northwest is actually on the song from her album called Childlike Things. I don't know. I didn't read the credits. So I didn't even know she was on there. I just listened to the music. But apparently, yeah, they were saying that. And then she performs the verses in Japanese. I'm like, you can perform a verse in Japanese, but you can't sing I Just Can't Wait to Be King in a school play. Okay, sis. But she also revealed why Kim and Kanye's daughter was perfect for the track since her label wanted someone who had a childlike energy. He said it needs to be someone who has that tenacity, who has that strong point of view, and that you have when you're 11. So she said when she saw an interview with North and how confident she was, that's why she chose to use her for the song Childlike Things, which we had found out later on that Kanye was all upset about that she was put on the song. But I'm like, but you have no problem putting her on a song with Diddy, but you got a problem with her being on a song with FKA Twigs, which last I checked, there's nothing problematic about her. So I just didn't understand like but nobody ever understands what the hell Kanye is talking about when he goes on his stupid ass rants. But anyway, so they said the tour was scheduled to kick off on March 8th with a show in Prague. However, that date and one in Berlin was canceled due to shipping issues. She's currently slated to perform at Coachella Valley Music and Arts Festival in California. So we'll be able to see her in Coachella when and they said in addition to a San Francisco date on April 19th. So she'll be around touring. We'll get to actually get to see her in Coachella until um that whole situation, until her touring situation is dealt with. But it seemed like it's like, yeah, they are whoever's behind what you're doing over there with your live shows and stuff, it's a mess. But one of the things about FKA, she is somebody that has to be experienced live. So um, one of the things I did find funny though, that people was in the comments and they said wow, an artist being upfront and honest about reasons they are pulling out of a show that's not last minute or BS. Because, we've been having issues with a lot of people who have been coming out here, oh, I'm sick, or, it's all these other excuses. And then it's, low ticket sales. Nobody cares. So at least she's actually telling y'all all the politics that goes on in live touring. And yeah, there is a lot of politics that goes on behind the scenes. Another person said cries a non-refundable plane ticket, but can't wait to eventually see you. Another person said, girl, I respect you and your art. I hate that production didn't realize this mistake sooner since I flew to Chicago to see you and just arrived to this news. So sad to probably have to miss the show. Another person said, flew to Prague to see you and then flew to New York to see you. Like, this can't be real life. So everybody's out here flying. And, and then one person said, girl, what about Coachella? I'm nervous. And look, Coachella is not affected. She is going to be performing in Coachella. I just read the thing, but I understand this is on her TikTok, so they're not reading the article that I just read. Another person said, can you give the option to refund anyway? Like, I'm so done. Another person said 24-hour notice for Chicago is unacceptable. Well, look, y'all need to, another person said, while you're at it, can you add another NYC date so I can get tickets? So if the demand is there, I'm sure she will. But when it comes down to refunds, isn't there a way y'all can call Ticketmaster and have them deal with it? So that's probably what she's going to have. I mean, y'all are going to have to do. I don't know. So I say all this to say, what do you guys think of this story in regards to FKA Twigs announcing that she had to cancel 3 of her dates in North America due to some issues behind the scenes with her team, her incompetent ass team. So let me know what you guys think of this story in the comments down below. Onyx says there were videos of Twigs crying on tour while performing Cellophane. Seems like the song is too much for her and she should retire it from the set list. Fuck Rob Pattinson for treating her terribly. Well, damn, she keeps going through it. Is it Robert Pattinson was treating her bad? Remember she went through it with Shia LaBeouf? Like, she just be going through it with these men. And look at it. Robert Pattinson got a baby with Suki Waterhouse, who, also got a baby with Bradley Cooper, who's now dating Gigi Hadid. It's funny how it all kind of like this whole cesspool that's going on. She must be devastated, but at least it brings more attention to the tour. Yeah, and hopefully to her music as well, because I do feel like the FKA Twigs is terribly and immensely underrated. I know damn Uncle Chris. All right, y'all. Okay, so let's get into the Marvel news. So I don't know if y'all seen it. But yeah, they decided to do this rollout of all the actors who are going to appear in Avengers Doomsday, because I already told you they're about to start filming it. I know they're already in principal photography. I don't know if they actually started officially shooting. I don't know when the shooting date is. Maybe it is in the article. I have to check. But for the most part, Avengers Doomsday, while it's exciting, the list of stars that are going to make an appearance, and I'm going to read all of them as we, as I go further into the topic. I just thought the rollout was stupid. I was like, this is the best y'all can come up with. Like, y'all basically showing the back of these chairs that the actors sit in on set, and it just shows their names. And I was sitting there watching it, and I'm having to fast forward because they spent way too much time on the back of one chair before they went to the next one. And I'm like, this whole rollout is stupid. Maybe what y'all should have did would just put a whole video together and just kind of did. Remember how like in the soap operas where they basically just showed the actor and then the name and all the other stuff? Maybe y'all should have did that, like an opening theme, whatever, and just have like the Marvel Cinematic Universe music, and it just show all the people, all the superheroes that's going to make an appearance and the actors who's going to play them, because they've all been on the screen pretty much in the film. That would have been way more exciting. Or y'all could have just had a press conference and had them all just kind of come out. But it might have been difficult to do that because I'm sure like a lot of the actors are probably in the middle of doing things, so they probably wouldn't have been available to all show up in one space. But then again, if all the money Marvel got, y'all could afford to fly them all out and have them do this. So they they assembled a live stunt on social media where it is cycling through actors on set chairs to unveil the names of the cast in the Russo brothers Avengers Doomsday. So now the cast announced so far And this is shout out to the Hollywood Reporter for this, include MCU mainstays such as Chris Hemsworth, who plays Thor, Anthony Mackie, who is now Captain America, Sebastian Stan, who played the Winter Soldier, Paul Rudd, who plays Ant-Man, Letitia Wright, who I guess for now is still Black Panther, Wyatt Russell, who plays U.S. Agent, Simu Liu, who plays Shang-Chi, which sidebar, before we get to the rest, did y'all see this video? I don't know if it's an April Fool's joke or what. But there was a picture that I saw of a show that's coming out on April 11th on Hulu, which Simu Liu is hosting. And it has a bunch of D-list celebrities on there. And from what it looks like, there's a couple on there, I don't even know who the hell they are. But the ones I recognized, it had Kim Zolciak, it had Omarosa, it had Spencer Pratt, Val Chmerkovskiy, and Cynthia Bailey. Those are the only 5 that I recognize. Everybody else on there, I'm like, I don't know who the other white folks are. And then there was a little mulatto child on there. But other than that, I was like, damn, Simu, this is what you're doing. And then he did that movie where he was trapped in somewhere with Woody Harrelson, and that movie came and went like a wet fart, so nobody went to go see that. But it's good to see that finally we getting Shang-Chi back, because we've been saying for the longest we want Shang-Chi back. And funny enough, I actually expected Shang-Chi to make an appearance in Secret Wars. I was not expecting Doomsday, but they made the announcement. Now, who else? Okay, so they have Florence Pugh, who plays Yelena Belova, who you know is now Black Widow, and Danny Ramirez's fine ass, who you know is playing the Falcon. I didn't particularly care for how they wrote him in Falcon. I mean, in not Falcon. Well, he was a Falcon Winter Soldier, but I didn't like how they wrote him in this last Captain America, Brave New World. I didn't like how they played his character. So who knows? I'm hoping that with the Russo brothers and everything, that they'll actually do, excuse me, his Falcon justice. Now they said it also notably includes Kelsey Grammer, who plays Beast. He actually played Beast in the X-Men: The Last Stand, and then had a cameo in the Marvels. So they have his Beast making coming back. Now, members of the Fantastic Four are also in the cast, including Vanessa Kirby, the Invisible Woman, Eben Moss-Backrack, who plays the Thing, and Joseph Quinn as the Human Torch. But there is no report about Mr. Fantastic, played by Pedro Pascal. Now, how y'all got these 3 mentioned, but we don't hear nothing about Pedro? Like, what's going on with that? I know y'all didn't kill his ass off. Because how you gonna have the Fantastic Four and only mention 3? So Miley was good. Like, what's going on with his character? So they also said now Thunderbolt newcomer Lewis Pullman, who plays Bob, is on the call sheet along with, well, a lot of people think he's playing Sentry, but they're calling him Bob for now, along with star David Harbour, Red Guardian. Now, here was a shock that I wasn't expecting. I was not expecting them to mention that Namor was coming back, because I thought we was done with him in some sort of way after Black Panther Wakanda Forever, but they said Tenoch Huerta Mejia is coming back. And they're also, and because also I should also point out, excuse me, that we didn't know if he was going to be coming back, because I don't know if y'all remember back in June of 2023, he was accused of sexual misconduct, which he said that he denied, and he said it was false and completely unsubstantiated. And so he dropped out of a Netflix movie, which is probably a good thing, because all Netflix movies, for the most part, are deep and utter shit. So, because of the whole media storm, he had to drop out of a movie. But then he appeared in Marvel's Echo premiere event. So, I guess at that point it showed that, you know what, he was cleared. He's on good terms with them, and they have him coming back. And I don't want to hear nothing, because I know y'all about to say, but what about Jonathan Majors? That's a whole nother conversation. Or what it is that, you know what, Jonathan Majors pled guilty and a lot of other stuff. They didn't, I guess, this case came and went with Tenoch. So I guess they felt like we could work with him. Now let's get into the X-Men, because there's been some X-Men characters that have been announced as well. So let's get into some of those. Now, what shook the hell out of me? Okay, now why are you playing in my face? Screen. It's like, if I'm trying to scroll over, bitch, thank you. Sometimes this thing wasn't getting on my damn nerves. Now they said Patrick Stewart, who, I could have sworn died twice. Was it twice or was it 3 times? Because they killed him. Okay, first of all, he died in X-Men: The Last Stand, right? Then he died in Logan, and then he died again in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. So did they find another did they dig into another multiverse and bring Patrick Stewart's Professor Xavier back because he'd been dead? They killed him like 3 damn times in the films. So then, also we're getting Ian McKellen, Sir Ian McKellen, I should say, who's coming back as Magneto. Kelsey Grammer, as I mentioned, as the Beast. Alan Cumming is reprising his role as Nightcrawler. James Marsden is coming back as Cyclops, and Rebecca Romijn, who will always be my favorite Mystique bitch, is coming back as Mystique. I mean, Jennifer Lawrence was okay, but she irritated the fuck out of me when it came to, I don't want to sit for 8 hours in blue makeup. Okay, girl, go eat a dick somewhere. Because I'm like, if you're going to come up in here and you're going to play this character, do what needs to be done in regards. But I understand it's tedious. I understand it's annoying. Sitting up under all that damn makeup for half the damn day. You got to be up at 5 in the morning and they're applying all this blue stuff on you. But she was doing the damn most. She acted like she was so damn ungrateful. But go be ungrateful in a corner somewhere. So I like my girl, Rebecca Romijn. Although, and this was a shock, because I didn't think they were going to bring back the old X-Men. I thought y'all were going to try to push it over to the new X-Men, or maybe, who knows, maybe all this is going to lead us to the next generation of X-Men and stuff. We'll have to see where they're going with this, but I'm just like, why are we announcing old X-Men? I feel in a way that, y'all think that they're doing this because it's kind of like nostalgia porn, where it's just like, oh, well, we're in a funk right now in regards of people aren't really feeling the MCU and a lot of the decisions, and they've been kind of on shaky ground in regard, post phase 3. So yeah, now we got to kind of look back, especially and get us. It started with Robert Downey Jr. coming in as Doctor Doom, and now we have y'all digging and bringing all these older characters back that we like, just so that you can get butts and seats. So it kind of makes me wonder if that's why they're picking these characters. But I'm gonna just wait and see until the film comes out and then draw to my own conclusion. So I'm trying to see if there's anybody else that needs to be mentioned. They also said Kevin Feige first pitched Downey on the idea of returning as Doom, while Downey himself convinced the Russo brothers to return to the fold after spending the last half-decade working in a world of streaming movies, which a lot of them we talked about yesterday have not been great. So if y'all want to see the Avengers Doomsday cast announcement where they wanted to go around well, they had Robert Downey Jr. showed up where he's looking like an old Charlie Chaplin, and he played him because he kind of looked a little like an old man Charlie Chaplin in the video when we watched it. But then they show all the chairs of all the celebrities and all the actors. Well, basically all the actors. Okay, so now Pedro Pascal was announced because literally when I'm looking at the still, you can see Pedro Pascal's seat is next to his chair is next to Robert Downey Jr.'s. I don't know. So this is the cast so far. If I did miss any actors, because this is all I was able to gather thus far before I went live with the show. But if there's any other ones that I missed, definitely drop it down in the comments. But I want to hear from you guys. What do you think of this latest announcement? I said the way they did the rollout, I just thought was just dumb. But I'm excited to see the movie and what they plan. What's the story and what they're planning on going with it. I mean, and because, well, who knows? Maybe now, I guess after this, then we'll see where they go with Secret Wars and what new characters they're going to also introduce into the fold and how they're actually going to introduce the next generation of X-Men. Because it's like, everybody in here is of a certain age. I'm just glad y'all didn't say Wolverine because I'm tired of, I like Hugh Jackman, but I'm just like, can we move on from Wolverine being in something? So let me know what you guys think of this story in the comments down below. You said I did like her new album. Me too. I feel Marvel's flop era will continue even after they pulled RDJ out of the. Yeah, I'm still not 110% convinced about Robert Downey Jr. playing Dr. Doom. I'm not, because the way that he played Tony Stark, it definitely felt like an extension of himself. And I think another thing that rubbed me the wrong way, when he came out and took the mask off and did the whole like hands up in the air, very much, it was very much like similar to that scene. Remember when in the first Iron Man, when the things is blown up behind him, he throws his hands up and he's like, yeah, it's not gonna hit me because I'm cocky or whatever the case is. And to me, it was like, his Tony Stark was based off of a much cooler Elon Musk. Like Elon Musk that I guess in a multiverse, he would be Elon Musk, but in real life, Elon Musk is such a damn goofy ass moron who really ain't that smart. So when you look at it with Robert Downey Jr., I just felt like he came out as Dr. Doom. I mean, dressed as Dr. Doom, but as Tony Stark, if that makes sense. And it's just like, I was just not convinced 110% that he is Dr. Doom. I personally would have preferred if y'all would have had Mads Mikkelsen come out as Dr. Doom. To me, he comes across more sinister. Or I even went with Nicholas Wildow, who, wasn't it, who played Jamie Lannister over there on Game of Thrones. I almost forgot the name of the damn show. So I would have liked to have seen them. I would even said Bill Skarsgård. But Bill's been in so many damn things. A lot of people at this point would have been like, well, he pretty much, y'all already pretty much are starting to typecast him. Although I do like the fact that he's been taking risks on a lot of different roles. They may not be hitting all the time, but I like the fact that he's been stretching his acting muscles and trying all these movies, even if y'all don't go to the movies and see it. Because y'all didn't go see that recent one with Anthony Hopkins playing like some car voice and he gets trapped in a car and all this other stuff. I heard that's out. I forgot the name of it. I think it's called, what's it called? Not Trapped, Locked. That's what it's called. You said, yeah, got to get out. You said the show you're talking about, I know a guy who's on there, Steve Helen. He works for People Magazine. I talked to him. Oh, what are you doing? He said he also does commentary on some. Oh, I used to watch Reels. I don't even know what that is on my TV, but probably because I don't have cable. Like I said, when I had cable, I was watching Reels. I wonder how the general population will react to the new Avengers and if they could stir up the same mania they did during Infinity War Endgame. Thor is the only one that casuals recognize. Really? Because I would think that people would be familiar with Patrick Stewart, Ian McKellen, Kelsey Grammer, Rebecca Romaine, James Marsden. Like, I would think that they would be familiar with a lot of those characters. And if they go see Thunderbolts, they'll be familiar with those characters from there. And they'll also be familiar with Shang-Chi and Namor. Does that mean that Namor is actually joining the Avengers? Like he's like more of an anti-hero than a villain? Because remember, at one point they was having him go up against Black Panther. And then I guess, him and Letitia Wright got into it. And then they thugged it out, and now they best friends. Like they giving the handshake and all the other stuff. I'm trying to remember. Actually, I only saw Wakanda Forever. Actually, I saw it twice. What am I talking about? I was like, I only saw it once. No, I saw it twice. But it's been a while since I've seen it, so I got to rewatch it so that way I can remember it. But I guess because of the whole funeral, let's play homage to Chadwick Boseman, that kind of turns me away from wanting to watch it because I don't want to be sad when I'm watching it, if that makes sense. And then I'll kill Queen Ramonda, so I don't want to go through that trauma again. But I'm sure he wants to move on. I would hope, and I don't care how much of them Brinks trucks you want to back up to his house. It's time to move on and give us a new damn Wolverine and a new X-Men. So I'm curious to see what's going to happen. I'll be looking forward to 2026 in May of 2026 when this movie comes out. I would say Secret Wars. Secret Wars afterwards. Doomsday. I'm looking forward to seeing that. But anyway, all right, y'all. Let's get into this news about Oprah, who is being subpoenaed in Russell Simmons' rape trial. So, shout out to you, niece. In regards to all of this mess that's going on. Well, hold on. Let me pull this picture up as we get into the topic. So, the billionaire, who's 71, has been subpoenaed by Drew Dixon, one of Simmons's alleged victims, in her ongoing defamation lawsuit against the rapper who's 67. And this is according to page 6. So Dixon is suing Simmons over remarks he made in a 2023 interview about her R-word claims and about Winfrey dropping out of executive producing a 2020 documentary on the scandal. Oh my God, I totally forgot that. Yeah, she was supposed to be producing that, but then she backed away. So I guess they want a subpoena and say that, excuse me, Maybe she knows where the bodies is buried in there. She don't want no parts of the situation. So Simmons claimed that Winfrey backed away from the project after discovering inconsistencies in Dixon and other alleged victims' stories, and that she had recordings that reveal those inconsistencies. So if he's out here saying that, oh, she got recordings that what she said was inconsistent, which, you know, sometimes people aren't going to be consistent in regards of, you know, things that happen to them. Sometimes there's going to be a confusion of timelines and all the other stuff, because when you're going through a trauma, who sits and remembers every minute detail of what happened? Sometimes there's little blind spots, or well, you know, like moments where you black out or whatever, and then you might remember something later on after you've gone through your testimony. So with all that said, she said, well, since you claiming that she got inconsistencies and recordings, now I'm gonna subpoena her for my case. While you hiding out in Bali. Now attorneys for Dixon have commanded that Winfrey hand over documents, recordings, and other tangible things, giving the talk show icon a March 18th deadline. They also commanded Winfrey appear for a deposition that may be videotaped. Well, bitch, I want to see them tapes when y'all have to come out. Excuse me. They said, quote, you are hereby commanded to produce the books, records, papers, data, documents, evidences, writings, well, goddamn, was there anything else? And all other tangible things as described more fully in the attached Schedule A at law firm Boyes Schiller Flexner, LLP, 55 Hudson Yards, New York, New York, 10001. Well, I know where Hudson Yards is. Hudson Yards is not too far from where I work. Or electronically to undersigned counsel or on or before March 18, 2025. This is according to the subpoena. It said you are further commanded to appear and attend before a notary public or other person authorized by law to administer oaths, and at any recessed or adjourned date to testify and give evidence as a witness on an examination before trial by deposition upon oral questions. The document concludes with this deposition may be videotaped and will continue from day to day until complete. So, girl, and you want to know something? Some people might be like, Oprah know where the bodies is buried. Because remember, once upon a time, not long ago, wasn't she out there hobnobbing with Harvey Weinstein? And we've seen the tea that happened with him. And, you know, they also say she on that Epstein list. I don't want to sit out here and start spreading alleged rumors, allegedly, but, you know, Oprah, the people you be out here hobnobbing with, need to watch it. So now, according to page 6, it says it remains unclear if Winfrey compiled with the demands laid out in the subpoena by the March 18th deadline, or if her lawyers worked to fight them. It's also unclear what assets were called for. Well, they said everything. Dixon launched her defamation case in 2024 after Simmons spoke on her R-word allegations during a sit-down interview with Graham Bessinger in 2023. Say he seemingly suggested that Dixon was thirsty for fame and seeking notoriety by accusing him of R-wording her back in 1995 at his apartment. He also insisted that he'd only ever had consensual relationships with women, that he'd never been forceful in any of his relationships. In this same interview, he said Winfrey's exit from On the Record, a documentary about Simmons' alleged crimes and R-word accusers, was the result of her finding inconsistencies in Dixon's and other women's stories. Simmons also made mention of the tapes Winfrey allegedly has of everyone she interviewed or spoke to for the documentary, saying she taped about 20 witnesses. Those tapes are available. This is what he told Bessinger. He started the conversation by telling Bessinger that he didn't watch On the Record because it's not true, and I think that Oprah said the stories don't add up. He also said that Winfrey wanted more time to shift her focus on the project and wanted to change the entire thing to a documentary about men in general and about the whole music industry. So she didn't want to just put it all up on Russell Simmons. Say, I couldn't be a subject anymore because she had found too much contradictory evidence about the stories about me. Winfrey withdrew herself as EP of On the Record in January of 2020. Now, while appearing in CBS this morning to address her departure, Winfrey said her decision to leave the project was not a victory for Simmons in any way, saying, I unequivocally said that I did not pull out because of Russell. This is not a victory lap for him. I cannot be silenced by Russell Simmons after all I've been through. Okay. And Oprah has admitted that she is a victim of rape, that she has been SA'd. So she understands that. And so it's like, I'm not going to sit up here and side with a alleged predator. And just because I'm pulling out of this documentary doesn't necessarily mean your ass is innocent. So what she said was she believed and stood in support of the women in the documentary who made the accusations against Simmons, which he has repeatedly denied. Oprah said that the professional differences with collaborators on the documentary led her to make the hard decision to disengage with the project, saying, quote, I said to them, Houston, I think we have a problem here because new information had come forward. I just care about getting it right. And I think there's some inconsistencies in the stories that we need to look at. I wanted the context of the story to be broadened. I wanted more women brought into the story. So it was like, yeah, there was inconsistency, and she wanted to make sure she had her behind covered because if anything goes down, you're not gonna wrap my ass up in no damn lawsuit. So yeah, here is the woman that Miss Dixon, who is basically suing Simmons over his remarks. Now, she also said the lesson she gleaned amid her work on the project was that you don't put your name on anything that you do not have creative control over. The film, which was acquired by HBO after being dropped by Winfrey and Apple TV Plus, is centered around former Def Jam A&R executive Dixon's allegation of R-word against Simmons during her 2-year stint at the company. It focuses on how Dixon wrestled with the decision to bravely come forward and speak out about Simmons. She finally decided to do so in 2017 when she went on the record in an interview with the New York Times. What made her mind up was when she saw other women, talking about it in the Me Too movement and cited how Mike Tyson's rape accuser, Desiree Washington, wasn't believed when she spoke out. However, y'all do know that Tyson did prison time for that assault. Tyson was later convicted of R-wording the 18-year-old. I couldn't let them dangle in the wind. This is what Dixon said in the film. The doc went into detail about what happened to Dixon that fateful night in 1995. Then a 24-year-old music industry executive, Dixon was flying high, having recently assembled the chart-topping soundtrack for the hip-hop documentary The Show. After a night with her boss, Simmons, at Manhattan's Bowery Bar, she was about to get a taxi home when he offered to call her a car and suggested she wait in his apartment. He enticed her with the promise of listening to a hot demo CD. Once inside, Simmons set Dixon to retrieve the demo from a player in his bedroom. But when she did, Simmons followed her in, and she turned around to find him naked wearing a condom. Dixon remembers him pinning her down on the bed, talking with a cold, menacing voice, and R-wording her. She then blacked out, she says, and the next thing she recalls is waking up naked in his bathtub. I was reduced to nothing in that moment. She said in the film, breaking down in tears, I was trash. Now, Dixon left the apartment, walking the 20 blocks back home before taking a shower and sobbing uncontrollably on the floor. She later resigned from Def Jam after just 2 years before joining Arista Records in 1996. There, she claims her new boss, L.A. Reid, who joined Arista in 2000, also stepped over the mark, making sexual advances towards her before making life difficult when she didn't comply. As well as Dixon, another half-dozen other women went on camera to say Simmons SA'd them. In total, 20 women have come forward to accuse Simmons of rape or SA. The documentary states that both Simmons and Reid both declined to take part in the film. Well, duh, of course they're not going to partake in the film, but if you was innocent, I would have been all up in there and been like, these bitches is lying. But I side-eyed Russell Simmons because I truly believe if you were so damn innocent, why did you run over to Bali? So the film ends by saying Simmons 62 has moved to Bali, Indonesia, a country that doesn't have an extradition treaty with the U.S. So, and you knew to move the one place that is not tied to us. So they're not going to get you just like they didn't get Roman Polanski when he was out there dealing with children. So, or a child that we know of. So, Oprah, just give them what they want. If you know you ain't do nothing criminal or whatever the case is, then you ain't got nothing to hide. But I'll definitely keep you guys abreast of this story as it develops, but I ask all of you, what do you think of this story in regards to Oprah being subpoenaed by Russell Simmons' rape accuser? Basically saying, it's funny, I didn't say the word the whole damn time, and I say it at the end, right? It was like, I called it grape, I called it the R word, I had to be great, and then I go and say it. But anyway, what do y'all think of this story? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments down below. Said Thor, Winter Soldier, and Anthony as Cap, and Marvel is in a flop era. The casuals probably did not give a fuck about Thunderbolts, Eternals, and the flop era characters. I would think that maybe they're looking at Thunderbolts to reshape the MCU. Also, if you saw Captain America Brave New World, there's a scene where Anthony Mackie's Captain America is having a meeting with Red Hulk. Well, he wasn't Red Hulk. It was Thunderbolt Ross at the time. But he's having a conversation with him, and he's like, I want you to assemble the Avengers. So basically, they're going to have him be the Samuel L. Jackson of the franchise. That's what I'm thinking that they're going to have him come in as. Not necessarily, I mean, I'm sure he'll be in there fighting, but he was getting subpoenaed for the case. I think Deadpool is dead after the Dice Pool. Well, no shade. I don't think we need another Deadpool. Like, we was good with the last one. I thought that I went out on a high note. If Deadpool never come back, I won't be that upset. I wonder how that will affect him and Ryan's friendship. But we'll see. Because Ryan should have been minding the business that pays him and just let Blake handle her own situation with her lawyers. And we got somebody from Abu Dhabi in the house. We international up in here. Well, we've been international. We get people that come in from like Germany and the UK and all that other stuff, but I never thought of as far as Abu Dhabi. But how you doing, Mr. David? All right, y'all. Now let's get to this story. So, I want to give you a little follow-up of the No Other Land situation. See, we talked a bit about it. I think it was yesterday, Shelley, we talked about it, where Hamdan Ballal was taken from his home and assaulted by a group of, should we call them settlers? Because I don't know if y'all really settlers. Well, a bunch of damn colonizers. That's what we should call them. And they're not even like police. They're not even military. They just, people going up there with guns, people going on with masks covering their face, and they're just going in trying to take these people's land and harassing them. And I think that a lot of this harassment has ignited simply because he won an Oscar for this documentary that came out, which is called No Other Land. Now, I've been wanting to see this movie. I don't know where you can go to see it. I'm thinking like maybe select theaters are showing it, but it hasn't been shown here. And I don't even know if it's available to even purchase on like an Amazon Prime or whatever the case is. But we already know the type of people that control the narrative in regards to this story. So this is why you're not hearing it from a lot of people. And in so many ways, performative as Hollywood not coming to the aid of Hamdan is not surprising. But I will say this. I'm glad that his co-director, who is Jewish, by the way, or Israeli, is speaking out on the matter. So while you have a bunch of bigoted morons over there in Israel who are trying to control the narrative, at least we have someone who's among the good guys on the Israel side that is coming to his friend's defense, especially when you got fake ass Hollywood keeping their mouth closed. So Yuval Abraham, one of the filmmakers behind the Oscar-winning documentary No Other Land, has criticized the Academy for not commenting on the attack of its Palestinian co-director, Hamdan Ballal. Now, Abraham, one of the 4 directors of the documentary, which won an Oscar earlier this month for, I believe, Best Documentary, had taken to Twitter earlier this week to say that Ballal was arrested Monday night after being assaulted by a group of colonizers I'm changing the name because they're not settlers, in Ballal's home village of Susia. An eyewitness to the detainment, told the Hollywood Reporter that there was a pool of blood outside of Ballal's front door and 2 other Palestinians, Khaled Mohammed Shanran and Nasir Shrete. I think it's how you say his name. If I messed up your last name, I apologize. Were also taken. On Tuesday, Abraham posted an update to say that Ballal had been released. And we did talk about that on the show, where it's like, in addition to all of this, he has been released, which makes me wonder that, you know what, with the Motion Picture Arts and Sciences or Academy of Motion Pictures Arts and Sciences, with them being quiet and all of this, I feel like if he had not won this Oscar, he might be dead. I think the Oscar saved him because the story came out. His co-director spoke about it. The media was all over it because the major trades, and I think it's because it has to do with Hollywood movies, that sort of thing. So the Hollywood Reporter, Deadline, Variety, all the major trades was talking about it. So it came out and they spoke up. And then his co-director came out, was all over social media talking about it as well. And I feel like if he didn't win this Oscar, he would just been some regular guy in that neighborhood. They would have just took him out. But because of all this, they don't want a narrative painted about them in a certain way, which it already has. And they've been doing so much trying to suppress a lot of the perception of what's going on. And they're trying to suppress a lot of the media in regards of what they're doing over there in regards of, Palestinian neighborhoods in the West Bank and that sort of thing. And even Gaza. I saw a video earlier when I was on Instagram of like areas being blown up to bits. And this is what people are dealing with every day. Can you imagine living in the United States of America if you were dealing with something like this in Texas, in Florida, in New York, in LA, in any part of the 50 states? If y'all had to deal with bombs being dropped on y'all every day, y'all would totally have empathy and understanding of what people in these other countries are going through. I don't understand why people just can't have simple empathy for others. I just don't get it. Maybe if I'm wired different, maybe I was just wired to give a fuck about others outside of myself. I know it's crazy to have that kind of feeling and vibe and that sort of thing, but I do, unfortunately. I care about people besides myself. So now they said that the creative is now speaking up again to express anger at the Academy, the organization that oversees the Oscars, that, as I mentioned, the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences. So AMPAS, for short. And they said how they refused to publish a statement on the incident. Well, they did their own little mea culpa, because I think they were dragged over giving that movie the win. And I was like, wait a minute, let me find out the Academy is actually giving a film like this a win. And I think maybe the Zionists who are in the industry took issue with that win. So they did a little mea culpa, and it's like, you know what? We'll do y'all one better. We'll give Gal Gadot a freaking star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, even though this bitch can't act her way out of a goddamn dirty tampon, and has only been in, like, I can count on one hand how many movies this broad been in. And the only good role that she was in, thank God for Patty Jenkins, was Wonder Woman. But she didn't have to really do much in that movie, except beat people up and try to act like she had like this childlike whimsy about her. But then she had to really show her acting range in that 1980 whatever number it was with Pedro Pascal. And there's a video that's running around that I did post on my social media that is the ultimate cackle, where you literally see the horrified look on Pedro Pascal's face when she's trying to deliver one of her lines. Give me the stone. I need to know where you hid the stone. Like when she's doing that line, she sounds so wooden. And he's looking at her like, bitch, are you serious? Like literally I can see the look on his face like, all the years that I've spent taking acting classes, coming up through the trenches, paying my dues, and here this broad come up in here delivering lines like literally somebody's shoving a wooden stake up her ass. But anyway, when you know the right people, that's how you get the right parts. Her husband's a producer. I should point that out. Now, he said the following. Sadly, the U.S. Academy, which awarded us an Oscar 3 weeks ago, declined to publicly support Hamdan Ballal while he was beaten and tortured by Israeli soldiers and settlers. On Tuesday, well, I should say not settlers, colonizers. Now, on Tuesday, Abraham posted an update to say that Ballal has been released following an interrogation by the Israeli police. Yeah, because I said all this shit was getting out and y'all found out who y'all grabbed and how y'all wasn't going to get away with it. And so y'all let him go. Because how's this going to look? Perception is everything when it comes to people. So the creative is now speaking up against the express anger that the Academy of Motion Pictures, Art and Sciences, the organization that oversees the Oscars, refused to publish a statement on the incident. And they also went and said the European Academy voiced support, as did countless other award groups and festivals. Several U.S. Academy members, especially in the documentary branch, pushed for a statement, but it was ultimately refused. They probably didn't say anything because look who we got for a president. So that's probably why they didn't say that. Everybody running around scared of the orange shit bag. I don't understand why. There's nothing about that man that is scary. He pops off. He's a hothead. He runs off at the mouth. Y'all really don't know how to encounter a bully. I used to fuck bullies up. That's how I used to deal with bullies. So I don't even understand, like, a lot of y'all just be running around scared of a loudmouth. And for somebody to be like, well, if you don't do what I say and if you don't comply, I'm going to shut this down, shut that down. That's fucking extortion. So we're allowing that in this country? I mean, quiet as it's kept, it's been happening for a while. But now it's just more evident. And everybody running around scared like they ain't never dealt with a bully. And they like, oh, maybe it's y'all past childhood traumas that y'all really just suppressed. And now that it's coming back, y'all didn't really deal with it. But that's why they got therapists. Y'all need to work it out with your therapist and actually do the job that the people in, us American people put you in office to do. Government officials. So they also said that they were told because other Palestinians were beaten up in the cellar attack, it could be considered unrelated to the film, so they felt no need to respond. That's bullshit, because first of all, it is related to the film. From what I believe, since the film did come out and it was nominated, I mean, it's a documentary based on what he's been dealing with in his neighborhood, like in his city, in his town, whatever you want to call it. This movie has been making the rounds. It won the Oscar because he's shedding light on what's happening. You don't think that there's going to be people out there on the other side, these settlers and the Israeli military are going to be pissed off that he's shedding light on something that is happening that they're a part of? And we already know who's running Hollywood, a lot of you Zionists. So for you to sit up here and try to act like, oh no, it's completely different. That's why we didn't speak on it. It's unrelated. It's bullshit. You know exactly what it is. Y'all just too pussy to speak out about it. So we basically continue by saying, in other words, while Hamdan was clearly targeted for making no other land, he recalls soldiers joking about the Oscars as they tortured him. He was also targeted for being Palestinian, like countless others every day who are disregarded. This, it seems, gave the Academy an excuse to remain silent when a filmmaker they honored, living under Israeli occupation, needed them the most. It's not too late to change the stance. Even now, issuing a statement condemning the attack on Hamdan and the Masafer Yatta community would send a meaningful message and serve as the deterrent for the future. Well, a lot of them are like these politicians. Y'all cuck for these people. CUCK is what I'm saying. Cuck. When you cuck for these people, you basically shove your head up these people's ass. Y'all scared of any kind of retaliation. So you're going to go where the wind blows. And that's when in the darkest of times, this is when when people show you who they are in the darkest of times. A lot of our politicians are showing their ass. That retard Fetterman. You got what's his name? The other one, the fatback one, the one that's over here canceling his damn book tour, his Zionist book tour, and got dragged because he decided to give Trump what he wanted without actually coming with some kind of leverage. Like, you just gave him whatever. Schumer, that idiot, and all these other people that's running around just, bending the knee. They show who they are. The other one, Newsom, with his stupid ass podcast, which basically killed your chances of becoming the president of the United States. Your numbers have plummeted since you did that stupid, that oligarchy ass kissing podcast that you're doing. That's what you need to call it. And cucking to the Trump supporters and the extremists like Steve Bannon. So when you got them over there doing that, and then you got Hollywood firing celebrities for speaking out against Gaza, the genocide of Gazans and Palestinians, when you're firing people over that, which got actors scared to speak out, what do you expect? You know what side they all gonna roll on. And this is why I know a lot of people say that they hate when y'all go and say, well, Jews run Hollywood, or this one runs Hollywood, that one runs this business, that business. I said, well, when you say that why do you think people react the way they react? Because you haven't proven that this is a lie, that that's not true. So when you put these things out here, it kind of feeds into the argument. So you have to look at it on all the sides. So I don't know why he's surprised that Hollywood wouldn't speak out on it. They're fucking pussies. That's why they haven't spoken out on it. They want to play it safe. They're worried about their livelihood or the fact that what Trump might do to them if they speak out on certain things. So I want to bring the attention to you all, what happened to him. Then I saw another video on Instagram where it was a bunch of Israeli kids that were on a bus. And somebody made a joke that said that the bus was promised to them 4,000 years ago. I was like, oh, y'all messy for that. But because this is like the thing that they've been running around with, why they want to get Gaza and all that other stuff. So y'all get the gist of it. But anyway, so they had a group of kids that went and harassed the bus driver. Now, that is, if you did that in America, the bus driver, by the way, was Palestinian. It was a bunch of Israeli kids that decided to pick on him. And then a guy, actually, one of the passengers got up and stood up to the kids and was trying to push one of them off the bus. Because one of them decided to take smoke and blow it in the Palestinian driver's face, which got me livid. I wanted to dive through that screen and beat the shit out of all of them. But I can't astral project. I'm not Nightcrawler. I can't bamf myself to a place, beat somebody up, and then bamf my way back. So the kids was harassing this Palestinian bus driver. One of the guys got up and intervened, one of the passengers, and then one of them decided, I think, to spray pepper spray or something on the bus. And I'm like, this is absolutely disgusting the way that y'all run around treating people. Like, I just don't understand. And this is all based off of the way they're raised. So, a lot of times they take that anger, they take that animosity, they take that energy, and it passes down generation to generation. Hatred is contagious. It's a taught behavior. But y'all out here worrying about trans people, homosexuals. Our stuff is we could pass that down. No, we can't. It's a part of your genes. You're either in it or you're not. But hatred, racism, xenophobia, homophobia, transphobia, any kind of bigotry, that can be passed down from generation to generation. And you see a lot of these people out here that's doing all of this. So yeah, that's what they did. I said I'd have ran their ass over. But the bus driver had to open the bus back because he had all that pepper spray or whatever. When that smell or whatever the case is, it just started messing with him. So he had to open up the door and he had to get off. I don't know what happened because the video cut, but that was the video I saw. I think I posted it in my Instagram stories too. So to finish all this up, the Academy did not, of course, well, fuck them, because I was like, the Academy didn't respond. They didn't respond to him, and they didn't respond to the Hollywood Reporter, saying the organization has a long-standing policy of not commenting on matters outside of its immediate purview. Okay. So they said the IDF had offered a different version of events surrounding the incident in its own statements on Monday, saying the violence started after several terrorists hurled rocks at Israeli citizens, damaging their vehicles. Both sides began throwing rocks at one another, and as IDF and Israeli police arrived in the conflict, several terrorists began hurling rocks at the security forces. That's bullshit, because you know what? I saw another video. I can watch a lot of videos, apparently. Americans got caught up in the mess. They were harassed, and when you hear one person, and they in perfect English, so this is how you know they're American. One of the girls was yelling, "Get in the car, let's get in the car, let's get in the car, let's get in the car." And they get in the car, they drive off. You literally see the glass because somebody is filming from the back seat. You can see literally the glass is damaged. The front glass of the car it's like been damaged, like somebody threw a rock or something at it, or maybe something heavier. So for them to sit out here and say, "Oh, it's all because they did this," Americans was getting caught up in this mess too. But of course, yet again, because the bottom line is we're all about cooking for Israel, our government officials, and giving them the millions and millions of dollars to bomb Palestinians. Y'all don't even care about us as Americans because y'all taking our taxpaying dollars to do this bullshit, which y'all, last time I checked, we was out here protesting against it. But let me stop talking before they decide to try to deport my ass, even though I'm an American goddamn citizen. I was born in America, so try me if you want. So I say all this to say, what do you guys think of this story regarding this latest update on the No Other Land co-director? So whatever your thoughts are on this matter, let me know in the comments down below. Not like Charlie XCX did. I haven't seen her act, so I'm like, is she that bad? The Israeli police and military capture and detain people without warrants or due process. Seems like we are on our way there we've been doing that. We've basically been rounding up people, putting them on a plane and sending them to, what was it, Venezuela? They send them to, different places and putting them in like these internment camps where they're doing slave labor and they're not even getting due process. And then the federal judge is telling them turn them planes around and bring them back. And then you got that other broad out here spewing hatred and lies about, oh yeah, no, we're not doing it. I'm like, really? Just like y'all try to lie about that group chat thing where y'all actually talking about war information. You're sharing information about your war plans in a group chat. Where they do that at? But y'all here talking about Hillary emails. And don't get me wrong, I have gone on Hillary about a lot of things that she's all about politically. However, y'all worry about her damn emails, but you got a whole group chat. Why are y'all doing group chats? You do a group chat if you want to send each other memes or dick pics or whatever kind of thing that you do with your friends. You don't do a business group chat and talking about classified information. But yet again, this is the same administration when you had somebody that had classified information in the bathroom at Mar-a-Lago. So I don't know why y'all acting surprised that he would stoop this low and do something even more dumb. I just cannot wrap my head around how stupid this country has become. Like the overall stupidity of people, like what Americans get this fucking stupid? I just don't understand it. I just can't wrap my head around the fact that people are really this dumb. Like our educational system has got to be lower than the 40s. The Palestinians have a right to resist and exist. They literally are protected by international law to defend themselves against aggression on their own soil. What the documentary showed literally happened to the director. You can't make it up. That's why I said I want to see it. Anti-Semitism book tour. Look, I said it. He's on his Zionist work. He was on his Zionist book tour, but you said it best. Anti-Semitism. Yeah, now he mad because he went and voted the way he voted, and then you got them dumbass bitches over in the he dealt with it with his cards. I mean, he did what he had to do with the cards that he had, and I'm like, first of all, you could have literally went in and been like, oh, we'll give you what you want. However, you need to make sure Elon Musk is no longer has, because you need our votes. Like, there's not enough Republicans over there that would have had the votes to pass a lot of the legislation that they want. You could have been like, Elon Musk is out. You need to get rid of his ass, send apartheid cloud back to South Africa where his racist ass belongs. His anti-Semite ass belongs because he is. He's a freaking Nazi. Look at his Twitter and the shit that he be retweeting. If you don't believe me. Also, don't be touching people's Social Security. There needs to be health care for all. You need to not get rid of the what is it? The school situation, like the health, like the educational system. That stop dismantling the educational system for people, like all the things that people depend on. Don't stop touching a lot of the veterans' money and all the other stuff. Like the things that the people need. You could have been passing those legislations and be like, yeah, we'll give you what you want, but these are the terms. And if you can't agree to these terms, you ain't getting nan vote. And word on the street is he didn't even tell Hakeem Jeffries what he was doing, which got Hakeem Jeffries pissed. Because any other time, Hakeem gonna be out here cucking for the freaking oligarchs and going down to Wall Street and Silicon Valley and trying to get some of that money. He over here worrying about trying to campaign for money. So he ain't no damn different. But I think he's more upset because Schumer didn't tell him what he did. And you got them ass kisses over there at the View that don't even know what the hell they talking about. This will piss me off about them in that show. It's like, don't be over here trying to represent politics and stuff when y'all don't even know what the fuck y'all talking about. Especially that dumbass bitch Sarah Haynes. I can't even believe her ass is a Virgo. But seem like a lot of dumb Virgos out here. Or it's just all about the money with y'all. DJ Envy's another dingbat. And now we got her. And then her scissor sister, Alyssa Farrah Griffin, don't even get me started with her. So racism is usually passed. Yes, it is. Remember segregation in this country? Yeah, well, we have it in Israel, apartheid, just like South Africa. And you know what might have been more segregation? There was a story that came out about these twins that were killed, shot in the head, and were found up in the mountains in Georgia. And from how I found about it, I saw this picture online of a firefighter took a photo of it and posted their dead bodies and stuff online. Like, who does that unless you had something to do with it? And they were someone that they were kind of like near a sundown town. They had a ticket. They were supposed to be going to, they were supposed to be coming back home. from where they were at. I don't remember what was the point of why they were where they were, but they had plane tickets and everything. Now, if he went, they said he killed himself, and he killed one. They were twins. One of them killed the brother, and the other one ended up killing himself after he killed his brother. So it was a murder suicide. I don't believe it, because they said, and the parents don't either, because they said that there was they don't believe that would have happened, because they said that the brothers never fought, like they were close, so they was up in there lying. So I said, they probably, no racist ass white people had something to do with it. In them sundown towns, they like to keep it white only, and there's plenty when you go down south in certain parts. When you go to Georgia, when you go to North Carolina, when you go to and I'm sure Alabama and a bunch of other places too. Of course they were. It's like we should start that trend of when we talk about people getting unalived, we don't say unalive no more, because I think now that's come under the whole thing of you can't say it. That's red rum. Y'all seen The Shining? Y'all know what that means. Per usual. Just like the whole thing of where they said they're gonna have them investigate, like the police out in the area where the director lived, that they're gonna investigate it. I said, just like y'all said that you're gonna have Elon Musk investigate. Oh, I'm sorry, Apartheid Clyde investigate the recent group chat thing that y'all had with the military. Why is he even investigating anything? He's not a politician. We didn't vote him in on any kind of policy. He's not even American. But because he paid Trump over $200 million to buy the presidency for another 4 years until they dismantle everything and try to be up in here like for the rest of his life because he think he a damn king. What do you expect? Anyway, let's move on from politics, because this shit just stresses me out every time I talk about it. I don't need any more gray hairs. They're over my beard as it is. So, where we going? All right. Let's lighten up the mood slightly. Let's talk about American Idol and this whole Nepo baby trend that seems to be overtaking the show. Now, here's the thing. Nepo babies have always existed in so many ways, and there have been some Nepo babies that have gone on American Idol. But I think now, because it has become more apparent, I think it's really starting to piss a lot of people off, and a lot of people are talking about it. We got Nepo babies in movies with Jack Quaid, and we got the girl that played Madam Web. Her parents is freaking what is that? Oh, Dakota Johnson, Don Johnson, Melanie Griffith. Then you got Jack Quaid, who is the son of Dennis Quaid and Meg Ryan. Then you got Patrick Schwarzenegger, who's Maria Shriver and Arnold Schwarzenegger's son. Then you got so it's like every time you turn around, there's always somebody who's a child of someone. Then you got Alessandro Nivola's son, who's also on Caucasian Lotus. So then you got now in American Idol, it's starting to plague over there. Recently, you had, and you can see on the right, Brian Luttrell from the Backstreet Boys, his damn son, is on the show and made it to Hollywood. Then yesterday, I think, what was it, last night? I don't know when the show come on, because I told you, I have not watched American Idol since David Archuleta didn't win. And look, his career's popping, and that other person that won over him, where is he now? Y'all need to bring that show back. Where are they now? I missed that show. Wasn't it on VH1? But yeah, so now, and then Connie Wilson's daughter most recently got to Hollywood. She brought her mother out, and they started singing "Hold On," their biggest hit, as a Wilson Phillips. So the Nepo babyism of the show is starting to irritate the fans. So once upon a time, when American Idol was actually watchable, the whole point of the show, I could have sworn, was to find undiscovered talent and turn them into bona fide superstars. Well, that doesn't seem to be the case anymore, as the show has gone from turning diamonds in the rough into the next Kelly Clarkson to giving a bunch of Nepo babies a leg up. So the show's second episode of season 23, well, they said of the season 23 in total, 8 since switching to ABC from Fox, revealed that Bailey Luttrell, son of Backstreet Boys' Brian Luttrell, made it through to Hollywood. Then during this week's episode, Wilson Phillips singer Connie Wilson appeared alongside her 19-year-old daughter Lola singing her mother's classic song Hold On, which I just told y'all. Now, while it remains to be seen how many more Nepo babies this season has in store for fans, many are already furious that they're allowed to audition in the first place. Of course, this isn't the first time the sons and daughters of celebrities have been on the show. Most recently last season with Emmy Russell, granddaughter of country music legend Loretta Lynn, who cracked the top 5. Still, with 2 children of well-known singers advancing in the first 4 episodes, many fans have been taking to Twitter to venture their frustrations. So yeah, there's another picture of, see, now this is the thing. I loved if Bailey would have got up there and just did his music or whatever the case is. But I feel like what they do is, and then this is for TV purposes. Oh, well, if you a celebrity, whatever, bring out your daddy because we know. And then, oh, there's the nostalgia thing. So I was like, oh, well, Blackstreet Boys. So yeah, let him go through. Let him go through. Not even thinking like, okay, is he even good? And this kid, because I'm going to point it out, when we get later on into the story, he's had many opportunities. He got to open for the Backstreet Boys. He's put out music. The reality is, nobody cares about his music. And quiet as a skip, I said that Bailey need to replace his damn father because Brian's voice ain't what it used to be. Remember that video that was out of them arguing and Nick going in on the fact that Brian's voice ain't the voice ain't voicing, that he can't hit them notes like he used to. Am I sexual? Yeah. Can I hit the note? No. So now one said, many like Becky, BK, ST Girl. Oh, was that Backstreet Girl? Said, I'm sorry, I don't care who your daddy is, and put who in caps. So if you already had a record deal, you should not be allowed to audition for American Idol. She was referring to Bailey's 2019 debut album, 770 Country, which was released on his parents' label, Briley Records. Now, here's the thing. If your daddy has a record label, if your father has had you tour with him, if your father had you be the opening act on the Backstreet Boys situation, and your shit still ain't popping, then, little man, you need to figure out how you're going to get your music and all this other stuff out here. Now you're doing American Idol and thinking American Idol is going to help you. When quiet as it's kept, I don't know anybody that still watches American Idol that thinks, oh yeah, that show is going to help my career like it did a Fantasia or Kelly Clarkson or a Ruben Studdard or a Clay Aiken or an Adam Lambert. Like, I don't see nobody out here thinking American Idol is launching careers like they did back in the 2000s. But it's a TV show, so if you like it, I love it, I guess. They also went on to say that Bailey was just 14 when he made his Broadway debut in Disaster! In 2016, earning a Drama Desk Award for his performance. He also served as the Backstreet Boys opening act on their 2019 tour and released an EP called Volume 1 in 2022. Becky added in her tweet that that's so not fair to see kids that have no other opportunity other than this show. Another Twitter user dubbed Brett Big Snugger. That sounds like a little something else. Insensitive. But anyway, Big Snugger said, Nepo babies doing American Idol kind of ruins the point of the show. Another person said, LMAO, like 30 people have sent me that clip, Bailey Littrell on American Idol, and is sending me how 3 people in the music industry are pretending not to know who he is. Also, why are Nepo babies on a show that was about giving nobodies a chance to become famous? Because I'm like, yeah, there's no way in hell. Well, maybe they don't know who he is, but I'm like, wait a minute. Now, if I hear a name like Bailey Littrell, I'm like, wait, is your daddy Brian Littrell? I would look at him a little closer, be like, is your daddy in the Backstreet Boys? Little man, why are you here? Little Latin boy in drag, why are you crying? Like, it would have been something like that. Not hell no. There's a Nepo baby on American Idol this season. Poor people can't have ish. Yeah, because remember, once upon a time when American Idol came out, it was literally about like me. I could just go on up there, had the opportunity to sing and become famous because I'm using my talent. And I'm tired of pounding the pavement. I'm tired of because back in the day when American Idol was hot, when it first came about, we had, artists had to do things the hard way. You had to be out here pounding. If you were in New York, you pounded the pavement. You did the Mercury Lounge. You did like little venues and all this other stuff. And you sang and you performed in bars with the hopes that a record exec would walk into a room and discover you and offer you a record deal. It's not like now where a lot of artists can actually just get up on, well, back in the day during the Justin Bieber era, you got on YouTube and you did your little cover songs and you strummed your guitar or whatever the case was, or played the piano and you posted on YouTube and you got discovered that way. Now it's TikTok. So, and then I think it was also Instagram, but now it's more or less TikTok. And that was the way you got put on. Whereas, like I said, American Idol, that show is so unnecessary. I guess only middle America is watching this. But let's go through the rest of these funny ass tweets. So another person said, remember when American Idol was about talent and not Nepo babies? Another person said, there's no one on this earth I feel worse for than the Nepo babies who have to use American Idol to jumpstart your career. Like, why didn't your mommy get you a record deal for your 16th birthday? Okay, now that's funny. Another person said, I'm watching American Idol and why are Nepo babies auditioning for this show? Use your resources as a Nepo baby. Exactly. And I know a lot of y'all look at Nepo babies as like a negative. I'm like, I would use shit. If my parents was famous, trust and believe, I'd be asking my daddy to be like, can you give me the equipment and stuff so I can get me a podcast or whatever, and my name will put me on, right? But you have to show that the talent is what keeps them around. And to me, when you come into the show, I definitely can see it. But we'll get into the people who have been sprinkled throughout the years who were Nepo babies, and we didn't think it was a bad thing then. She's needing more time to cook before she's at the level for American Idol. Nepo baby with no breath support, and she was flat frequently. Seems unfair to take a spot from someone better who doesn't have famous parents. So are they trying to say that the girl who was struggling to maintain her air supply when she's singing, because you got to know how to breathe, and there's a whole lot of technique that goes into singing. So you trying to say that Carly Wilson daughter, because I don't know, I didn't watch it, I didn't hear her performance, but if y'all have, drop it in the comments. Was she flat, messy, and all the other stuff, and they felt like, okay, let's bring her in, and still, because Carly, we don't want to hurt her feelings, whatever. I'd have been like, I don't give a good goddamn, your mama is Mariah Carey. If them vocals ain't there, because I had to think of a singer. It was like, if them vocals ain't doing what needs to be done, you're not going through the Hollywood. You need more practice. First of all, if Moroccan or Monroe was going to go on the show, because remember, once upon a time, Mariah was a judge on there during her and the Nicki season. Those were the iconic seasons. But season, because it was only like one season, right? I think it was one season. Anyway, Mariah's not going to have her kids coming out here sounding a hot mess. Like, she's going to make sure, like, okay, if this is what you want to do, we're going to get you the best teachers. And you're going to learn how to hold these notes, because you're not going to embarrass me going on these damn shows. I'd have been that type of parent. It's like, wait a minute, now, I got an image to uphold. You're not going to go on American Idol and be sending a hot mess when, bitch, I got a 5-octave vocal range. I'm one of the best singers of all time. I'm on that list. It's to be debated on what number she should come in at, because there's been many arguments from a lot of the people, music lovers, homosexuals, that sort of thing. You know, those who like to rate voices. We know the team. So they said, another person said, I'm super salty about the celebrity kids showing up with their parents to audition for American Idol this season. These are the definition of Nepo baby, because it is expected they will go through and they are using a parent's influence. Absolutely. And y'all making it so damn obvious. Another person said, why exactly does a music Nepo baby need American Idol? I don't doubt she can sing, but I'm sure getting a record contract wouldn't be hard with her connections anyway. Exactly, because if your parents are famous, I'm sure that Bailey Littrell's father, Brian, could introduce his son to some execs, or been like, if you're real serious about this music, I have you on my label, so you need to get to work. Start working on the music. I'll introduce you to some producers. Like, you got the connections there, and we have a studio in the house. So if you need to work on some of your beats or whatever, or have a producer come in and work on some stuff and you want to write to it or whatever the case is, work that out. I don't understand the whole point of them going on American Idol. But I think y'all got the gist of what everybody else was saying in regards to this. But I should point this out. There were some celebrities in the past, in earlier seasons, during the Simon Cowell season, that have performed and are Nepo babies. and then sprinkled throughout. So Nico Smith, the son of baseball legend Ozzie Smith, competed on season 4. Jordan Sparks, who won season 6, is the daughter of NFL player Philippi Sparks. Others like Ayla Brown, daughter of Massachusetts Senator Scott Brown, finished in the top 16 in season 5, while Shannon McGrain, daughter of Major League Baseball pitcher Joe McGrain, finished 11th in season 11. How fitting. 11th place on the 11th season. Laura Johnston, daughter of the Doobie Brothers Tom Johnston, reached Hollywood Week in season 10, while Jim Carrey's daughter Jayne earned a golden ticket in season 11, and Jody Messina's cousin Alex Preston competed on season 13. So, Idol's most recent Nepo babies are Gianna Isabella, daughter of Brenda K. Starr in season 15, Grace Franklin, granddaughter of Aretha Franklin, Leah Marlene, daughter of Honeymoon Suite guitarist Derry Grehan, and Ava Maybe, daughter of Red Hot Chili Peppers drummer Chad Smith, all in season 20, and Kaya Stewart, daughter of Eurythmics Dave Stewart, in season 21. So I think, like I said before, it wasn't an issue back then because we didn't understand Nepo baby. It is what it is, you know. But now that it's become more apparent in everything, be it social media influencing, movies, music, television, the Nepo babies is everywhere. It seems like this is the new Hollywood, that a lot of Nepo babies are getting a leg up over those of us who don't have the connections to want to get into the business and do the thing that we love and to express our talent. So I think that's what the overall gripe is. But I would love to hear from y'all what you guys think of this story in regards to this Nepo baby takeover at American Idol. And are there any people out there that actually watch this damn show? So whatever your thoughts are, let me know what you think of this story in the comments down below. All right, we got comments. They said, yeah, we did talk about Nepo babies at American Idol. Like I said, Brian Luttrell's son and now Carney Wilson's daughter. I wonder who will be don't we all? Nepo babies rising. I said they might as well call it Nepo baby Idol. Okay. Latoya on American Idol. Wait, was she a Nepo baby too? And they used to show bad auditions, and now they only show people they know are going through. Yeah, it's so corny now. That was one reason why I used to love American Idol was for the bad stuff. Like, where the what's his name? Um, the one that did She Bangs, She Bangs. What's his name? Richard Hung? Whatever happened to him? We need more people like that. Like, we need more of those bad auditions. That's why we used to watch the show. But now I guess we're in the era of, oh, we want to hurt anybody's feelings. Oh, it's bullying, so we can't show that. It was like, that's why we watched American Idol. We didn't watch it just for people to get going through the Hollywood. That shit was boring. I mean, now they make it about the sob story. Oh, my left eye, I'm about to lose it. And then, okay, you're going to Hollywood. Oh, I got a tear in my testicle, my left one. Yay, you're going to Hollywood. Now it's sob stories on there. So there's that. Both are snacks. Comedy some Latrell Gay says. Isn't Brian Latrell like some deep-rooted Christian? I was like, he ain't gonna go for that. He give me like, he'll definitely be on that app with Chris, I almost said Chris Hemsworth. He'll be on that prayer app with Chris Pratt and Gwen Stefani. Like, he gives me that. Well, Magical Mermaid, how you doing? Wait, why am I saying the cake? Is somebody's birthday? It said these celeb children lead pampered lives many times and aren't willing to put in the work. I was thinking about Bobby Christina too when I was talking about Whitney. Oh, when I was talking about Mariah, I was thinking about Whitney and I was thinking about Bobby Christina. But I was like, she died. I don't want to bring her up. It will come across as sensitive. But since you said it in the comments, I can't believe it's been 10 years. I know, time just be flying. And how long Whitney been dead? Like longer? Like 12, 13? Non-Nepos usually have a much more original sound and interesting life story. Exactly. And that's probably what it is that, you know what, maybe Bailey Music is not going nowhere because you don't bring anything interesting to the table. But look, we got J.J. Abrams' daughter out here, Stacey Abrams, who's out here making music, and the kids is liking her. She's above my pay grade, so that's why I don't really be commenting on her. She's not my demographic. recession indicator. Nepo babies homeless in these streets. Can you imagine if they did like an episode, like a show of like you take all these Nepo babies and take everything away from them, they gotta survive like bums when they gotta work. I said Richard Hung. I meant William Hung. Some are born with some, and some with some. Some are born with some got Maybelline. Well, wouldn't that be a JD Vance with the Maybelline? Whoopi Goldberg has a theory that America Idol Simon Cowell turned America. Whoopi Goldberg need to go have a seat somewhere because that's some bullshit. She need to lay off that damn Manjaro. And because that is the dumbest shit. I think I do remember her saying that America Idol turned America mean. America's always been mean in so many ways. It's just that we have social media and now you're being exposed to things. And Whoopi Goldberg and all them other dingbats over there at America at The View have been able to live in a bubble for so long that they don't see how the world really works. And Renetta, the girl who wore that sparkly dress. And oh, okay. Oh, how did I not know that was your birthday? Happy birthday, though. Happy belated birthday. Wait, is her name? What is her damn name? Isn't her name Stacey Abrams? I know I didn't make that up. What's her name? Now I'm trying to look it up. Gracie Abrams. I said Stacey Abrams. It's Gracie Abrams. I'm like, chill. Gracie Abrams. Well, I don't listen to her. I mean, I did see her perform when she was at Jingle Ball. I was like, this shit is boring, but y'all like it. I love it. She's trying to be like, a poor man's Taylor Swift. It's like the View estrogen bubble. Okay. Stacey Abrams. Where do I know that name from? I know there's somebody out there named Stacey damn Abrams. I know I'm not bugging. But anyway, let's move on with the show, y'all. And let's get into some Real Housewives of Beverly Hills news. Now, yesterday we did talk a bit about how Garcelle Beauvais announced that she is leaving, I almost said American Idol because that was the last story that we just did. And then she's leaving the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills after 5 seasons. And I was like, okay, it's cute. Might as well leave because you wasn't really bringing nothing to the show. Like, I love Garcelle, her career with doing the executive producing a lot of the Lifetime projects and her son now being a model, where she's talking about, oh, I want to be there for my twins because it's their last year of high school and that sort of thing. I'm like, you couldn't incorporate that in the show? I know one of your sons don't want to be part of the show anymore. But Jayne is out doing his thing, so why not incorporate him? Sidebar, shout out to Erika Jayne. She made a shady comment towards Garcelle because I guess she was saying like that Garcelle had said that Erika didn't marry for love. And she said we both was married to ugly white men, so we got something out of it. I was like, oh, you shady, but I was living for it. Don't come for her until she sent for you because Erika reads down. This is what she said yesterday on Watch What Happens Live. But speaking of Watch What Happens Live, let's get into the story. So after after Garcelle announced that she was leaving the show, and I gave my kudos, like, yeah, okay, like, time to move on. You wasn't, no shade, you wasn't really bringing nothing to the show anyway. You was pretty much kind of like what Jennifer Tilly is. Like, you were giving friend to the show tease, with you being a part of the show. So after that, I kid you not, they dropped the trailer for the damn reunion. And I watched it and was like, bitch, I cannot wait until next week. First of all, I need to binge all the episodes that I haven't watched yet before I get to the reunion. But the reunion is going to be everything. First of all, like I said, Doree has clocked in and she is ready to come to work. She is not playing with you hoes this season. She went in on a lot of the girls this season. She was getting into it. She got into it with Sutton. She got into it with Kyle. She was getting into a lot of them. And I'm glad that Doree showed up and showed out this damn season. I know a lot of people don't agree, but Doree, I am team Doree all the damn way. She has given me my life in regards of the reads, the clapbacks, the shade, all of it. Finally, she decided to get up out of Kyle's ass. And you want to know something? Shout out to you, Andy. You know, I don't particularly care for him in a lot of situations. However, I love how he got on her ass about Morgan Wade? I'm glad he got in on her because she said up there, because then Kathy come out talking about, oh, she going around saying she a lesbian. Kathy said, she said, oh, I did it to make you feel comfortable. Bitch, you ain't got to sit up here and try to act like you eat pussy to make me feel comfortable about allegedly me getting my box eaten by another woman. Just support me morally and emotionally if I'm still trying to come to terms with my sexuality. So that was one of the other clips, and I was living. But I was like, no, now you know damn well Richard is not going to let you get out here getting your box eaten. You know, he going to be the one eating it. Pulling them cobwebs to the side and eating that box. So I love the fact that Andy was like, now you sitting up here, you did a video where you was playing the lover to Morgan Wade, and now you getting mad when people bringing up the lesbian rumors. Like, you can't have your cake and eat it. So I'm like, yeah, finally y'all going in and not letting Kyle get away with the bullshit, because y'all been doing that for way too long with this damn show. And I'm glad y'all calling her ass to the carpet. And if she want to go and leave the show too, then so be it. But her ass ain't going nowhere, because quiet as is kept. Who is checking for Kyle outside of the housewives? But anyway, so after she, Garcelle done said that she's leaving and all this other stuff, Bozoma St. John and Erika Jayne was on Watch What Happens Live, and they weighed in. Now, I can't play the clip because, NBC likes playing in my damn face, and the minute I start playing their clips and stuff, Bravo, NBC, anything part of NBC Universal, they want to sit and do a copyright claim, and I won't be able to monetize this damn episode or this clip when I edit it to make it a short clip. So Jayne and St. John simply stared and smiled when he asked them what they thought about Garcelle's announcement. I don't want to play it again because you already got a gist of it yesterday. And when I get around to it, I will cut it up and post it as a separate clip. So if y'all want to go and if you want to go on Garcelle's Instagram, y'all can watch it. But after Jayne and St. John urged each other to say something, the former chief marketing officer of Netflix, who's 48, by the way, told Cohen, look, I am disappointed that she is departing after the reunion. I wish she would have stuck around to work out another season. The Pretty Mess singer, who's 53, immediately jumped in, saying she knew Beauvais would quit the show after she stormed out of the season 14 reunion and refused to take the cast photo, saying that is a clear indication that I'm leaving. This is what she insisted after suggesting that the Jamie Foxx show alum had already told the rest of the cast that she was quitting 2 weeks ago. So yeah, when they shot the reunion 2 weeks ago, they were sitting on this and they knew, or Garcelle was knowing. But then Cohen decided to jump in, being all dense and obtuse, say, I didn't know that she quit. And then he said when she left the reunion, I wasn't totally sure. She and I had a conversation here last week. But then the funny part was when you if you happen to watch the clip, you watch Erika's body language, like, really? Like, you wouldn't know she was leaving, like, come on. So I'm trying to act so damn dense. Or maybe in his defense, I'll say this. Maybe he thought that after everything that transpired with the reunion, she just needed a moment to calm down. She'll come to her senses, and then she wasn't going to quit. Like, she was still going to come on and be a part of the show. Because, every season after the reunion, they renew their contract and all this other stuff. But apparently, she's like, I'm done. And, there is a clip on the show where, in so many words, and I'm paraphrasing, that Erika said, like, she's boring. She's not interesting. And no shade. I like Garcelle, but she really wasn't bringing nothing to the table. Like, she would say a couple of little things here and there. She would throw out a couple of reads. It was cute or whatever. And she came out and even implied, which I also implied too, that some people think that whole robbery situation that happened with Dorit and the kids was set up by PK because, some type of insurance policy on whatever jewelry or whatever they was going to go steal up out that house, that they can file a claim on it and probably get some insurance money out of it, out of whatever stolen goods that they had up in the house that the robbers took. So yeah, we don't need to rehash what she said in regards of her statement. But after being called, she was called not interesting by Erika Jayne. And she was slammed by Dorit for suggesting that her October 2021 robbery was orchestrated. This is when that's when she stormed on set. And I'm like, girl, that would have been the perfect time for you to sit up in there, stand your ground, and own what you said. In the words of Lisa Rinna, own it. Like, if you said what you said, if you saying the things that you said on the show, sit in the seat, be in the hot seat, and be like, yeah, I said it. That it wasn't just me. There's a lot of people that believe that the whole robbery was set up. It was orchestrated. It could have been for a storyline or it could have been for insurance situation, like I said before. So if you're going to say something, stand on your business. I'm not going to sit up and run up out the door and kowtow away from something I said, but that's just me. So yeah, she's gone. The other two commented. It'll be cute to see like how Bozoma does next season on the show because everybody's liking her now. But we'll see how she comes in on season 2 and how she's doing with the girls and things of that nature. So I say all this to say, what do you guys think of this story in regards of Erika and Bose speaking out about Garcelle's departure from Real Housewives of Beverly Hills? And do you think it was also carefully orchestrated that she put out this goodbye that I'm leaving? Well, not goodbye, see you later. That's what she says in the thing. And then later on in the day, not even like a couple hours later, then they dropped the reunion bombshell trailer. Do you think all that was planned, or do you think that it was just they were doing that to get back at Garcelle for quitting the show? So it's like, okay, we're gonna put out this reunion and be like, this is why she probably leaving. So let me know what you guys think of this story in the comments down below. Said politics. Stack Abrams. Stacey was the representative. Oh. Oh yeah, Stacey Abrams. She the politician. Yeah, the politician. I couldn't think of. I was like, I knew that name. You said Stacey was representative from Georgia. Big wide broad. No, I thought the wide back broad from Georgia was Michelle Brown. Runs straight from the A and does that A.T. Alien show, whatever. That Nene Leakes interviewed her on her show. And according to Funky Dineva, Oliver Twist ran to her and said, the bitch stink. Like, damn, you out here funky and fat? That ain't cute. Anyway. Okay, y'all. Now let's move on to, speaking of Atlanta, let's talk about Atlanta and how the fact that them ratings over there they're on a struggle bus in regards of the ratings department, which should come to no surprises anybody because quiet as it's kept. Even though I knew that the Housewives of Atlanta was back, I just so don't care about this season or any of the previous seasons. So it looks like the 16th season of The Real Housewives of Atlanta is failing to make a strong first impression, delivering the lowest rated season premiere in franchise history in the key demographic, and week by week the ratings continue to plummet. Now, according to reports, while the premiere pulled in a whopping 723,000 total viewers and scored a 0.18 rating in the coveted 18 to 49 demo, the ratings for episode 2 have now dropped even further, pulling in just 672,000 total viewers with a 0.16 demo rating. That would be 18 to 49 market, yet another series low in the key demo. After reports highlighted the steep decline in live viewership, Bravo attempted damage control, emphasizing delayed viewing and Peacock streaming in an effort to paint a more positive picture. Well, here's the thing. Peacock, if you watch something on streaming, we get it the next day. So if the Housewives of Atlanta comes on a Sunday, I get to watch it on a Monday. Or if the Housewives of Beverly Hills comes on a Tuesday, I get to watch it on a Wednesday, which would be today. So I don't understand how the delayed viewing and all this stuff plays into it. I mean, first of all, I would also like to know how the ratings, like, what are the numbers for the streaming service? And by now, you should have had those numbers. You had it for last week, so what's the numbers on that? And Housewives of Atlanta been out, well, do we count Sunday? I would say 3 days. It's been out 3 days already for if you watch it on Bravo. And on Peacock, it's been out for 2 days. So by that time, you should have been able to tally up the numbers and let us know what they are. However, I just think that in this reality, people just don't care about the Housewives of Atlanta anymore. It's not giving us what we used to love about the show. And y'all see the girls that's up there, Kenya. Kenya's no longer part of the show. And Sheree's about to come back, but I don't think Sheree is enough to save this damn show. So For years, RHOA was Bravo's flagship housewife franchise, consistently delivering powerhouse ratings. But these latest numbers suggest that even longtime fans aren't tuning in like they used to. The days of RHOA dominating Sunday night seem to be over, and no amount of spin can change the reality that viewership is continuing to decline week after week. With major cast changes and a season already met with lukewarm reception, the real question is how much lower can the show go before Bravo steps in? Because at this rate, the biggest drama isn't happening on screen, it's in the ratings. So, I think many factors play into this decline. I think that, like I said, none of the women are interesting enough to hold down the show. They have no standout personalities like a Nene Leakes, like a Kim Zolciak. I would even throw Sheree up in there, but Sheree is good as part of an ensemble. And when she gets confronted, she can read a bitch down. But as far as like interesting, Sheree ain't never been that interesting. But we need somebody like a Sheree on the show to kind of fill it out in so many other ways, especially if you're part of an ensemble. And even though, Kenya Moore was just fired from the show after the stunt that she did, and I guess that's supposed to be coming up soon. And I was going to watch it up to that point and then stop watching it. But I don't even care enough to tune in. I'll see it when the clips and stuff end up on social media. I'll watch it that way. But, we don't have a Kenya Moore type. And Phaedra Parks, yeah, Phaedra's coming back. Who knows when and what episode. But I don't think that her personality is going to be enough to hold the show together. Because Phaedra, she could have thrown shade, but she can't salvage what this show is. I just don't think Atlanta is it anymore. And I don't even think Nene coming back would save the show. I just think maybe that Atlanta needs to just wrap it up. They need to move it to a different location, find out another housewife type show, or maybe the reality is y'all need to cut down on some of these reality these housewife shows. I just don't think a lot of shows in these areas, when they run their course, just cancel it and then just hold on to what you got. I don't even know what's going on with Jersey. We talked about that yesterday. So I think it's good for Beverly Hills is doing what needs to be done. Potomac has got the people all excited. What's another one? Salt Lake City. I know some of y'all like that show. I don't watch Salt Lake City, but I know there's a lot of people out there that watch that. New York ain't giving what need to be given. They need to cancel that or bring back the Legacy Queens. The Legacy cast, bring them back. Luann and all of them. Although I did hear that Sonya moved to Florida. So maybe she could join Miami. And I heard Carmen Carrera's on the Miami one. I got to check into that. But I did hear that would make her the first trans woman. Sidebar. Maybe what y'all need to do is add T.S. Madison to the show if y'all really want it. And I think like maybe y'all need to change the format of what the Housewives is. Maybe y'all need to kind of look at it as like, okay, we don't need no Portia and a Shamia type or whatever the case is, or this Brittany Edie with her botched nose and all that other mess. Maybe y'all don't need to have all of these type of girls in here. Maybe y'all need to look at it as the new kids. Maybe you need to bring on some. Maybe y'all need. You know what? If Atlanta is full of homosexuals, why not y'all mix it up? I know y'all want to keep it cisgender, cishet with the women, but these cishet women ain't bringing it. Maybe y'all need to mix it up and throw a little trans up in there. Maybe you need to get a T.S. Madison. Maybe y'all need to throw a Funky Dineva, since he be interviewing a lot of you broads and talking about y'all shows in his recaps. Maybe y'all need to kind of mix it up as having some social media influencers like a Funky Dineva or whoever, or a couple more homosexuals, or even, like I said, a T.S. Madison. Y'all need to spruce it up. There needs to be energy and drama. But then again, with T.S. Madison being so Hollywood with a lot of y'all, I can't see her really going in and letting have. But y'all need to spice it up a little bit. Y'all make, since there's a lot of homosexuals that live in Atlanta, y'all might have to incorporate some of them into the show. But I understand y'all be acting like the gays don't know how to bring it in regards to entertainment and drama. Y'all like to take our words and our phrases and our isms, but you don't want to give us a seat at the table. So I see y'all. So I don't know. Whatever, but I want to hear from you all. What do you guys think of this story, and what do you think they need to do to salvage? I was gonna say save, but I'll go a little bigger with the word. Salvage what's left of the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Can it be repaired? And should they mix it up by adding some sissies and punks to the Housewives, particularly Atlanta, since there's so many of y'all that live out there? So I want to hear from you all. So let me know what you guys think of this story in the comments down below. That's no shade. I'm just saying. He said T.S. Madison will bring in many viewers from her networks, but let's just keep it to trans women, no homosexuals on a show called Out. Yeah. No, we don't want the Zeus Network. I don't like the Zeus Network. He said the homosexuals have Zeus Network. We don't want it. We don't want her. But yeah, I would think like that T.S. Madison would work over there. All right, y'all. So we got about 3 more topics left in today's show. So if you can, please hit that like button and that subscribe button. Also, be sure to smash the notification bell so that way you know when we go live with a brand new episode of Chris Avalon Unfiltered. I'll also be putting in timestamps throughout the show once the live stream is over, so that way you can just go right to the topics instead of having to sit through all the banter that we do during the live chat. So let's get right into our final 3 topics. Without further ado, let's get into some drag race news, where word on the curve is some people think that Ariana Grande Frappuccino may have spoiled our final 4 on RuPaul's Drag Race. So if y'all don't want to hear the spoilers, you might well turn away or mute the TV or mute whatever what device you on, and let's get into her. So we talked about it a couple of months ago, I believe, that Ariana Grande was letting us know who her favorite queens were and all that other stuff. But they've been saying that she's only been following 4 queens from season 17 of RuPaul's Drag Race, which has some people thinking that she has inadvertently spoiled the current season's final 4. So shout out to M Magazine, which is a Canadian homosexual magazine. They posted this, so I just want to reference my source. So they said this season of RuPaul's Drag Race is nearing its end, and it's been an interesting watch so far. Now, throughout the season, there's been moments that felt a little off. For me, I would agree with you. Seeing Crystal Envy leave so early was one of them. I do think that Crystal should have been given a much better chance, but I would love to see her on All Stars. Also, that Dunker Queen, Badunka Dunk tank, whatever, that shit was stupid. I didn't like it. I don't know what was worse, that or the It's Chocolate twist. I think they're both equally as dumb, but hopefully this is the last time y'all do the dunk tank. But I understand, I feel like y'all spent more money on that. Y'all spent majority of the budget on that tank and not enough on Rue's wardrobe, because her wardrobe was not giving in season 2. That was another disappointment for me. Them George Washington wigs that she been wearing, them, and them horrible ass outfits. So they said in a world where social media runs rampant, it's easy to read into things. They didn't. Well, we don't need to go about your MySpace days, child. Let's get to the story. So, as RuPaul's Drag Race season 17 approaches its finale, fans have been buzzing about Ariana Grande's Instagram activity. Now, weeks ago, she began following 4 queens of the season, which, she was talking about, I think she was on a red carpet, and I think it might have been, she was promoting Wicked, or it was like she was doing the whole Oscar rounds and all other stuff, because Oscar buzz was very much rampant and in full swing around this time. And she was asked on a red carpet, I think it was Mark Malkin from Variety may have asked her this, but he was like, have you been watching the show? And, she did her little voice that she does, the Glinda voice, because, she always likes to do little voices whenever she's in character. I don't even know what Ariana's real voice sounds like at this point, because she's gone through so many damn personalities, or, multiple personalities. I'm starting to think she's Vicky from One Life to Live with all them damn personalities she got. But anyway, so during the situation, she said her favorite, the 4 that she has been following and she likes, has been Lexi, Love, Sam Starr, Jules Sparkle. Well, she said Susie Toot and Anya Nerve. Now they said that she's been following Jules and Anya and Sam and Lexi, which word on the curb is I have heard that this is the top 4 and that Susie Toot gets eliminated. Now let's get into it. That has been the ultimate twist. And I was mad that this shit came out because somebody spoiled it for me on social media. And I'm like, damn, I didn't want to know this. But a lot of people had Susie as the front runner. Susie is even as the winner. But the more the show has been going on, I have been really thinking like Anya's going to take it this season. Because last year, no shade, I said that my girl Safira Cristal should have won. And y'all gave it to Nymphia. So now this season, I don't want to say like it's a redemption win. Kind of like, when some people are supposed to win an Oscar one season and y'all mess up, so y'all decide to give it to them the next season. I don't think it's that, because Anya has definitely proven herself to be that bitch, where she has been winning countless challenges. She's been winning a lot consistently. Like she has like 4 maxi challenge wins, and she's been eating the girls up in regards to the challenges. So her win is deserved. So I could definitely see her as not possibly just winning the crown. So the selective following has led to speculation that Ariana might appear as a guest judge in the upcoming finale. However, it's important to note that such theories are based on observation and have not been confirmed by official sources. Well, as far as they know, I might have missed something, but I don't believe there have been any announcement in any which way that Ariana Grande is going to be on the season in any way. Yeah, I don't think she's going to be on. I just think that maybe she heard something, or maybe she just following. I think it's just she's following her favorite queens. I just think that she has a favorite, and she's been very vocal in the beginning that she liked Anya Nerve, Susie 2, Lexi Starr, and Sam. Those were her four that she said a while ago. Now, maybe it has changed where it's like, when you're watching the show, and as you watch the show, it's like, you know what? I actually like Jules more. I didn't pretend, Susie, a lot of the girls have been kind of thinking that Susie's been a little cocky, and in so many ways she has been. So, are we getting a Final Five robbery with Susie Toot this Friday? Is this a legitimate spoiler or just speculation? Now, how do you feel about Ariana Grande being such a super fan that she followed a contestant she met to support them, but in turn possibly spoiled the end of the season? Is her finger just on the pulse? In the past, Ariana Grande followed all the queens who she had met in season 15, so it would be strange for her to just handpick 4 of the eventual final 5 weeks on weeks before we get to the stage. Does our Glinda the Good Witch know something that we do not? So now, they said that she might be supporting the queens by Instagram activity, blah, 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 so on and so forth. So I feel like, yeah, there's really nothing else to talk about it. I just feel like at the end of the day, I don't think she's spoiling anything. I just think that maybe what it is that she's following her favorite queens. Or maybe at the end she did inadvertently spoil it because, like I said before, according to someone who jumped up in not even in the DMs, in my freaking comments where everybody could read it, basically said that Anya and Jules end up in the bottom, and it turns out to be a double Shantae. Then they said that next Jules wins the Maxi Challenge and Susie is eliminated. So I don't know how far between is that in the final 2 episodes when we get all of that, and if this is even true, we'll have to wait and see. But overall, I guess right now we're just gonna have to just speculate until the next episode appears. I know they already dropped, and it was kind of early because I always thought they drop it on a Thursday. I know they already dropped like the first 10-minute opening of Friday's episode. So they gave us a sneak peek at the next episode. I haven't watched it. I always try to avoid watching the show. I like to watch it when it's all happening. So I don't like to watch the sneak peeks and all other stuff because then I get too caught up in it. And it's like, damn, that was only the clip that I forget I'm watching the clip and not the whole episode, and I get upset. So we'll just all have to wait and see on Friday. Excuse me. Jesus, I'm gassy today. We just have to wait and see on Friday how things turn out, in the words of RuPaul. So I say all this to say to you, what do you guys think of this theory that Ariana Grande may have possibly has spoiled our final 4 queens? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments down below. He said she's following the front runners. Ariana Grande Frappuccino recognizes talent. Oh, you said N Magazine is being messy. It said word on the curb is I have never turned down the volume. Oh, yes, I've never turned down the volume faster. My top 3 is Sam, Jules, and Anya. I don't care too much for Lexi or Susie. Ooh. Well, yeah, Susie. I mean, ain't no way in hell Susie is not Susie. That I don't think Lexi is gonna win because Lexi really has been caught up in her own head so much. She hasn't proven herself to be like the one that can take the mantle and be the winner of the season. I do feel like Anya Nerve is my choice to taking the whole thing. And then I always had Sam as my dark horse. I always had Sam as like, I know a lot of people wasn't really feeling Sam. I'm like, she's a pageant girl. She, I could definitely see her making it all the way to the end. And she's shady and funny. So I definitely saw Sam in my sights. I've been going back and forth with Susie. I mean, not Susie. I've been going back and forth with Jules. Like I've been wanting to put Jules in my top, but I think like me rooting for Lexi to get out of her own damn head has taken up space. And then it was also Susie. But then Susie, I mean, I like her dragon stuff, but she been annoying me with the cockiness and then the over bearingness of the acting challenges and stuff. I'm like, I don't get for Cleveland. Oh, is she? Yeah, I remember Akasha from season 1. Whatever happened to Akasha? She was a mess though. Sam is the least followed. Is she? Mm-mm. I didn't know she was the least followed. Well, yeah, there's been rumors around there. They saying like she a Republican. I said, why? Because she from the South. Magical Mermaid apparently don't like jewel sparkles. All right, y'all. But let's move on to this other Drag Race news. And let's talk about Miss Peppermint, who's spilling tea about Drag Race. And because, she was a fan favorite and a season 9 runner-up, and she's spilling tea on production and how when she was on her season of Drag Race, how they didn't like her because she knew how to bob and weave from production, and they didn't like the fact that she was ahead of them in a certain situation. So let's get into it. So we know what you're thinking. How could anybody hate Peppermint, the iconic runner-up of the 9th season of Drag Race? She could have easily won Miss Congeniality. Did they ever do Miss Congeniality during that season? But, and she's also been on The Traitors. Well, it turns out because when Peppermint was filming her season of Drag Race in late 2016, before its 2017 premiere, she managed to find a way to outsmart the show's production crew and accurately tell the time while competing, something that contestants are forbidden to do. Now, speaking on the X's and O's with Shannon Beveridge podcast, Peppermint didn't name Drag Race, but referred to the first time she did a really competitive reality competition show, which was indeed the World of Wonder Mega Machine. Saying, quote, wait, I think I actually have the clip. What am I talking about? Why am I even reading it? Hold on, because I almost forgot I had it. I didn't have it with my other stuff, because I got a lot of stuff open. So hold on, let's go over to that clip. Let's hear what she had to say, and we'll come back and talk. Please hold.
The first time I did a reality competition show, not only did they take our phones and things, but they hid the notion of time from us.
You did not like this.
We had no idea. Once we got up and were in the studio, which is like, there's not even windows at the studio.
Yeah. You don't know.
And they control the lighting. You have no idea. It's been hours. I don't know if it's 6 p.m. or 11 p.m. I found a way to tell time because I'm quite resourceful.
No way.
I'm an innovator. There was something that they had to supply us, that we had to have in order for us to do what they wanted us to do some of the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I was able to use that to tell time.
Okay.
And they'd be like, okay, you've got 3 hours for the next thing. And then they'd come in and they'd be like, okay, you're done. And it had been a long time. So I was like, no, it's actually only been 2 hours and 15 minutes.
Stop. Were they were they so like?
They were like, how do you know? And I was like, y'all, it's only been 2 hours, 15 minutes. Don't go. They hated me. They hated me.
All right. So. All right. So, yeah. So some people are saying that they think it might have been the iPods, that they have to use on the show where they actually have to listen to their lips, like the song, so they can lip sync or memorize the song, whatever, for the lip syncs, that might have been the dead giveaway in regards of how she was able to tell time. And I was like, yeah, don't let them know, because then they're going to find a way to outsmart y'all. So a couple people in the comments said, one said Drag Queen Hunger Games, LMAO. Another person said OMG, so when they're doing sewing challenges or whatever, they have no clue how long they have left. Yeah, because at the end of the day, y'all got to realize it's a reality show. They want y'all in peril. They want y'all stressed out. They want y'all doing crazy stuff because they need to get those reactions on TV. Y'all really think all this stuff is naturally happening because it's happening? It's improvised TV. It's, producers have a job to produce a show. And so they want you frantic and they want crazy things to happen because they need those moments. And yeah, so even when it's like, okay, y'all got 3 hours, and it's like, bitch, you ain't really give us 3 hours. I mean, they do all of that because they want y'all frantic. So I'm trying to see if there was anything else to add to. Wait, hold on. So let's go through the rest of the comments of what people say. Another person said, it's always funny that DR hates the people who stand up for their sanity. Ooh. Another person said she's talking about mail breaks, which are strictly scheduled based on union standards for the production staff. Another person said production doesn't like their story being messed with. Not the Ozempic is Ozempicing. Well, look, we know that Peppermint has taken supplements. Has she admitted that she took Ozempic? But that's not always a go-to. Some people take Mounjaro, some people take other things. And they said, is this why Pep will never be on All Stars? Wait, wasn't she on All Stars? Oh, you mean All Stars again? And they said people saying this is the reason she hasn't been on All Stars, but I'm pretty sure there have been queens who have been on All Stars who've done worse. That's true. Another person said, y'all saying that this is why she hasn't been back. She has declined every invite she's gotten in IG. They got the hint. She said Drag Race was the most stressful thing in her life and she don't need it. Not why a non-black people commented on my girl's edges. Y'all better not. They said she made a makeshift sundial or something. Okay, so now y'all got the gist of all that other stuff. But anyway, so they said, unlike the rest of her season 9 top 4 sisters, Peppermint has yet to return for and win a series of All Stars, but that doesn't mean she's not booked and busy. She recently became the first trans woman to appear on The Traitors US and appeared on the American political arena. In the American political arena, because she's also been doing a lot of podcasts, but she's been talking about politics, especially regarding this crackdown on trans women and what's going on in the trans community. And also had a turn on Netflix's Survival of the Thickest, a show I've never heard of, by the way. Well, first of all, I get so overwhelmed with stuff on Netflix. I don't be knowing what the hell's on there half the time anyway. So, wait, did I miss this? Oh, they said that, so maybe that is what it was. Like I said, heavily hinting towards iPods given to the cast of Drag Race with the season's lip sync songs on. I was able to use that to tell time. So I think I forget that, yeah, there are iPods that literally will have, like if you look at it, it has like a clock or whatever the case on it. I don't think they clocked it. They clocked the clock. So anyway. Your soul's been clocked though. But anyway, so I say all this to say, what do you guys think of this story regarding Miss Mama's out here spilling tea about why production didn't like her over there on Drag Race? So whatever your thoughts are, let me know what your comments are in the comments. Well, let me know in the comments down below. Also, let me know what your comments are in the comments. Told her this show ain't scripted. All right, y'all. What happened with Cleveland? What Cleveland said? He said, last I heard, she was working at not Tarjay, who's losing money a mile a minute. Sam isn't a Republican, but she also doesn't talk about politics, as she was rooting for Trinity when she said she was moving out of her red state and moving to LA. Well, look, yeah, I just think people just make assumptions because she's Southern. Speaking of which, I gotta watch that Roscoe's episode that has Sam and Trinity the Tuck on there. I haven't gotten around to watching that yet. Vampire Hours. Let's not forget when they erased Peppermint's trans identity from the whole season. Oh yeah, because it was like y'all was trying not to play into the fact that, they try to do that whole, well, when you're in the confessional, you got to be like clean, you can't have no makeup on, you got to be stripped down, and so you had Peppermint over there trying to look like just a homosexual boy, when in reality she was trans. And so when she went on to the show, the way that they've handled trans issues and stuff on the show is just so annoying. They've sort of gotten better at it. Do you think kind of like that's why they kept Lexi around? Because no shade, Lexi should have been eliminated a while ago. But I feel like because of her being trans, in a way they're probably keeping her around and have her go to the end, because then the blow wouldn't be as hard if you got her to be in the top 4. Because it's like, when it comes down to it, they don't want to hear it from the fandom. Really? Yes, they are. She's never been on All Stars. I heard people say she's never been asked. Okay. Like I said, I watched the Roscoe's episode. All the viral clips are the only parts where okay. And didn't Naisha Lopez drag somebody or something? I remember hearing that. I think that's why Kylie won All Star 6. No shade. I'm glad she won, but they wanted to fix Mama rules. Yeah. It definitely gave that at the time. You can't say that the timing around that wasn't a bit suspicious. And I feel like the same way with Lexi. It's like y'all want to have her go all the way to the end. I mean, Sasha Colby, her shit was already like the minute she walked through the door, I was like, okay, y'all might as well just the show's canceled. Just give it a crown. It is what it is, because we already knew the icon that Sasha Colby is. But in this situation, it's like, okay, now y'all know damn well Lexi, the way she would not have been safe all them times y'all had her being safe. You can't make a show around but out of fear of what the fandom is gonna think. Because at the end of the day, they're gonna keep watching the damn show. I'm gonna still do it the hell I want. Oh, you said at a Starbucks inside of Target. Well, yeah, they do have a lot of Starbucks inside of the Target, so I can definitely see that. And I forgot that you Sasha apparently wanted to audition for one of the seasons between seasons 4 through 6, but the production told her it wasn't for her or something along those lines. Oh, but why? Because she was trans identified at the time, and they didn't want to actually somebody coming in the gate as trans, because a lot of the girls when they were on the show, they didn't come out as trans until while they were either filming or after filming, they would come out. Carmen Carrera wasn't going in as trans when she was on the show. Neither was Jiggly Caliente. Neither was who else? I mean, Monica Beverly Hills. She mentioned on the show. Also, Kylie mentioned it on the show. I mean, So Neat. She mentioned it on the show. So there was a lot of girls that either mentioned it after the show or while they were in the middle of the show. If they would have mentioned that before they got on the show, they wouldn't have made it on. Because RuPaul's Drag Race aesthetically wants to keep it as cisgender males, where it's sort of like a transformation. Drag is about transforming, whereas you're male identified, but you come in and do this show and you make yourself up to look like this other gender, which would be a female impersonator. That's the way they wanted to keep it. They didn't want to come in with all these nuances of, oh yeah, so we're doing non-binary and gender non-conforming and trans and this and that. We all know that trans women have played a pivotal role in drag culture, coming up in the drag scene and going to many drag bars, especially when my first bar ever was Esquelita in New York City, where it was like a Latin club, but of course we had Latin and Black people that would go there often. That's how I met and became friends with the legendary Harmonica Sunbeam. And knowing her DJ at the time, DJ Relentless, he and I are also good friends. He does drag still, Jade Electra out in Toronto, because that's where he lives now. That people wanted, and I guess in a way, Magical Mermaid is saying, like, reflect the culture. You have to reflect the culture in which you came from, but they wanted to keep it they wanted to simplify it. And once a show becomes bigger than what it is no longer yours. So it becomes this other thing. And so it needs to evolve. So you have to incorporate other people. You got to start adding AFAB, Queens, and all that. So which they have on other channels, in spinoffs, but not necessarily America, though. Where you say she does drag still, reflect the culture. Exactly. All right, y'all. So now let's move on to our final topic, actually. Let's get into this Austin Wolf case, which I don't know why y'all surprised. Yes, it's been delayed yet again. So, all right, Austin, one of these days you actually gonna have this case come before the judge, come forth to a fellow judge, and we'll finally get this ball up and rolling. I mean, Diddy already got his date set, and you still out here delaying. So, I don't know if y'all noticed this, but it's been 9 months since adult performer Austin Wolf, aka Justin Heath Smith, was put in handcuffs on federal CP charges. So I got another monthly update for y'all, and yet again, a federal judge has granted a 9th continuance, pushing the deadline for indictment or preliminary hearing to April 28th, just 2 months shy of the 1-year mark since his June 28th, 2024 arrest. Court records show that plea negotiations between Smith's attorneys and federal prosecutors are ongoing. Now, for those of you who need it, here's a refresher on Smith's case. On June 2024, Smith, aka Austin Wolf, was arrested and charged with 1 count of distribution and receipt of CP, and 1 count of possession of CP. The popular adult film star is accused of sending and receiving hundreds of videos of CP, according to a press release from the U.S. Attorney's Office in the Southern District of New York. Smith was taken into custody and made his initial appearance before a judge on Friday, June 28th, 2024, when a preliminary hearing was scheduled for late July. The hearing was then rescheduled for Wednesday, August 28th, 2024, and then again rescheduled for Friday, September 27th, 2024. In September, a federal court in the Southern District of New York granted yet another continuance, moving the deadline for Smith's preliminary hearing or indictment to Monday, October 28th, 2024. Y'all really love those numbers. The 28th, the 27th, it always has to be around that time. As the deadline approached and federal judge granted yet another continuance, moving the preliminary hearing deadline to Wednesday, November 27th. In November, a federal judge in New York granted yet another 30-day continuance, pushing the deadline for preliminary hearing indictment on December 27th, or Friday, December 27th. So on and so forth. It kept just getting delayed every month, and it always seemed like it would fall around the 28th or the 27th of that following month. Now, a federal judge has now granted yet another 30-day continuance. Well, y'all already got the gist. I don't have to keep going into it. So now, it was another thing, because I happened to come across this article on Pride. I think it was a little old, but it asked the question, now when all of this came out around the time, is it the obligation for adult entertainers to speak out immediately on the Austin Wolf debacle, especially if they've collaborated with them? Because remember, let's take a trip back down memory lane. We had a couple of people like Jason Luna. Well, I would say he was showing his behind literally all over Twitter because he is a bottom. Wrote, most of us are silent because we are having a really difficult time processing what just happened. And some people like, processing what? Like, it's been tea for years. Like, a lot of y'all behind the scenes knew the type of man that Austin Wolf is. I won't say was, because that'd be past tense. And he's still alive. Then we had men.com post, we are utterly repulsed, and horrified by today's news report regarding Austin Wolf. Let it be clear, none of our brands have any current partnerships or affiliations with him whatsoever. We have swiftly and decisively removed all content featuring him from our platforms, where it caused Austin Wild, the other Austin, to jump in the comments and say the entire internet knew he's into little boys, allegedly, because he wasn't shy about it. And y'all steadily gave him work and exposure. This is just damage control, but better than nothing. And then Joey Mills said, let's get one thing clear. I have never worked with this band or a studio or a personal collab. The only time I've ever been around him was during award shows and other industry events. I'm not tied to nor associated with anything this man did or does. And I'm like, well, why would Joey Mills be running around here all of a sudden having to jump and be like, I never worked with him. The only time we were together was at an award show. And I think it's because if you happen to run into somebody and then somebody does a photo and somebody goes and brings up, well, do you have something to say about this? What you got to say about this? You took a picture with this man, guilty by association. And then you got to go on social media and windmill hard for your reputation, because now you got a couple of people out here spreading rumors that you collab with Austin Wolf. When I'm like, okay, but where's the evidence? I need you to go over there, subscribe to my shit if you haven't already, scroll through all my videos, and I need you to point out to me where in this video have you seen me get my cheeks clapped by some damn Austin Wolf. I'll wait. So that's where I would have been with my attitude of it all. That was what I would have said. Since you want to be out here spreading rumors and lies and vitriol, false accusations, where's that? Where the evidence? So we had a lot of people that jump on social media have to say all of that, and it's unfortunate. So I was wondering, it's like, yeah, are adult performers obligated? And I'll get to my overall thoughts in a second, but let's continue to go over what other people had to say. So then we have Felix Fox, who said, I'm late to the reply to the disgusting actions of Austin Wolf. I absolutely cannot express how repulsed I am at his behavior. To put anyone through that, let alone a child, my heart is filled with sadness. It is fucking repugnant. The law is merciless against those who partake in such things, so on and so forth. So, and then of course we had, Mr. Flip-Flopper himself, Timothy Champagne, who, can't decide from day to day if he's a homosexual or gay for pay. he decided to post on his Instagram along with there was somebody else he did the video with, and he was condemning Wolf and clapped back at the backlash, saying that yeah, he never worked with the guy, but he had a whole lot to say about it. I'm sorry to all the victims. There's so many layers to the story, but the takeaway is you never know. Everybody really respected him. Everybody loved him. He doesn't speak for the rest of us. We condemn this behavior. Oh, that's what the guy that he was with, his name was Xavier, spoke about. That's what he said. And then Champagne said most people in the industry are ethical. If you worked with him in the past, I feel like people will accuse you of knowing things people don't know. People online just want you to be a hypocrite, and they're addicted to drama. This isn't drama. This is something real. Not everybody knew what was going on. So yeah, maybe people didn't know what was going on, but I'm sure that people had an idea, especially if you looked at Austin's films. He always, and look, let's call it what it is. I don't make adult cinematography. However, I mean, I have made some videos. They're just not on. Well, anyway, let me just continue. So, when it comes down to it, if you looked at Austin Wolf's content, you already know that there was always, because he's big and he's like, what is like 6'3", 6'2", whatever. I don't know. I have passed Austin quite a few times when I've been in city. I told you, he and I go to the gym in the same neighborhood, Chelsea. Which, sidebar, by the way, I heard his house is empty. He don't even have the apartment no more that he had in Chelsea. It's on Zillow. I saw the video. There was another YouTuber that did a video on it. I forget what his name is. I think it's called The Gay Bear or something or another. But if you happen to see it, let me know in the comments. But I saw the video that he compared the empty house to some of the decor that Austin posted of his apartment on social media. So yeah, he ain't got that apartment no more. And I heard the husband up and left and went somewhere. I don't know where he's at. Maybe he's in hiding somewhere in another damn country. I don't know. But damn, I forgot what my point was. So, yeah, some people out here are addicted to drama. Maybe some people didn't know. However, okay, now I got it. Now, Austin Wolf, you looked at his content, he always posted stuff where like he was this big, burly dude, which he is, that was always hunching men, the dudes that look barely legal. Even if they were of age, they look like literally children. And yeah, I understand that there's some people out there that like that barely legal adult cinematography. I don't see nothing really that exciting about it, but there's some people that's into that, and there's a big epidemic in our community, especially the homosexual community, where we like that whole daddy's son type fantasy, and there's a lot of people that get into that. I just don't like the fact that y'all out here calling 25, 26-year-old dudes daddy. I'm like, you ain't been around long enough to even be having a zaddy part. Like, even change the D to a Z. So I don't even understand that. But now people talking about now daddy is like a state of mind, a wolf, or like you like it's so like wolf. Remember back in the day when wolf was a thing? I don't know if it still is. Let me know if it is in the comments. And people still out here wolfing. I mean, maybe they're out there using growler, but you know, when it comes down to it, it's just like, when it comes to the daddy types or whatever, I always thought daddy was just like somebody that would look like an Austin Wolf, or like my friend Alex Tikis, somebody like that. Or even my other friend, I'm trying to remember his damn porn name. His real name is Donald. But black dude, Donald Dickey. Can't remember his actual Ray Diesel. That's what his name is. So because you know, I be forgetting porn names and stuff out here, but when I be knowing my friends, I be knowing about a government. So yeah, when I look at people like that, I've been looking at them as like they're, you know, that's a daddy. Not okay, daddy's not a state of mind. Since fucking when, stop changing stuff. But anyway, so to wrap all this up, personally, I feel like if you have the ability to speak out, then you should do so. I don't feel like people should force you to have to do anything that you don't have the vernacular to do. If you don't have the energy to jump on a soapbox and call people out on things, there are other ways you can go about it. But if you have done content with him, just quietly remove it. That's all. You don't have to announce it and do a whole, you don't need to do like a whole, get a whole band together and a marching band and announce it from the rooftop, but just do what you got to do, whichever works for you. Everybody don't have to come out here and speak out. But I feel like that a lot of people get in panic mode because then there's this whole guilty by association sort of thing. And people feel like, oh, I need to get ahead of it because I don't want to they worry about the social media trolls. You can't let these people who sit behind their damn computers dictate, or their phones dictate how you react to things. But I do feel like I said before, if you work with Austin and your content teeters on the incest style stuff that he made, millions pushing, then I think it would behoove you to remove the content from whatever platform you post your content on. So that's all I got to say on that for now. After a while, when I'm sitting here talking about this damn story every month and giving y'all the same update, I have to find new ways to make this story entertaining. So that was my latest angle on, the conversation regarding this whole damn Austin Wolf court date. But I say all of this to say to you all, what do you think of this story in regards to the latest on this court date? The fact that it's been delayed yet again for another freaking month. Hopefully they get everything together before we actually get to the 1-year anniversary of him being in the Metropolitan Detention Center over in Brooklyn. Diddy's roommate or cellmate or building mate, whatever you want to call it. All three of them up in there, like I said before, him, Diddy, and Luigi Mangione all up in there. It's like Celebrity Row down in prison. So I definitely want to hear from you all. So let me know what you guys think of this story in the comments down below. All right, y'all. So now what's the people saying? Jail time often counts as double time against sentence. Oh, so you think the more he delays it, then he'll probably get out sooner? They're thinking, am I next? LOL, some go too far to try to film with fresh young meat. Yeah, I think that's what it said. Could be a whole guilty by association sort of thing. All the time about I hope Luigi is having a good day right now. He's locked in that facility. Well, look, I would rather get hunched by no shade. Regardless of what Austin Wolf did, I would rather get hunched by him than a damn Diddy. Then again, you know what? Both of them are imbeciles. So I don't even know if I should even say that. I take it back. I always thought his content was weird when he started filming with those. Yeah, I know. Yeah, say uncle. That's another one. The DL guy I was talking to when I was in high school loved to be called daddy, and he was 3 months younger than. You ain't no damn daddy. You a freaking twink. You're not even a twink. You a twink. A TWI. You ain't even earned the MK yet. And it said, daddy is the new wolf. Leather daddy says no. Leather daddy say no. I know I was like, isn't it like the new wolf? WOOF? Said he might be. I don't put nothing past these hoes and they political beliefs, especially when they get a little money in their pocket. But anyway, we are at the end of today's show. I want to thank you all for tuning in to the latest episode of Chris Avalon Unfiltered. If you can, please hit that like, or please do me a solid, I should say. Hit that like button and that subscribe button. Also, smash the notification bell so that way you know when we go live with a brand new episode of Chris Avalon Unfiltered. It's free. It definitely helps with the algorithm and all that good stuff, and also increasing my cointadas over there at YouTube because I do get paid to do this show. So, by the ads and all the other stuff that goes into it. So yeah, I'll be back tomorrow with a brand new episode. So definitely tune in, depending, Lord willing, if I'm feeling much better. And if there's some good tea to be spilling up in these internet streets or entertainment streets. So thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all for chatting with me and hanging with me and kikiing with me in these comments. As I was doing the show, y'all definitely fueled me with energy because like I told you, I've been a little under the weather as of late. I've just been exhausted. This weather has been giving me like scratchy throat and I've just been a mess as of late. So I know y'all hear all the sniffling and the coughing and the clearing of the throat and the sniffles and all that. Me being a hot mess on this live. But anyway, love you all for watching. Thank you all for tuning in. And until next time, ciao, darlings.